Okay, here we go. Sorry I'm late. This one's gonna be fun. Absol in Pokemon Emerald. I've been really wanting to redo this one for a long time because, I did really badly with Absol in the first playthrough that I did with it a long time ago, and I've been wanting to redeem myself. I think it's been top of the list for redos in Pokemon Emerald, alongside a Pokemon like Medicham, which I just want to redo because it's so good and so much fun to stomp the game with. By the way, I would recommend that one if you want to do an Emerald playthrough and you haven't done one before. Do Medicham, you'll have fun. Don't do something like a grass type. Don't do Ludicolo. It's good when the opponent has it, but it's not that good when you have it. Today there was a lot of extra tech stuff to set up behind the scenes, which is why I'm here a little bit later. I also got a little bit carried away discussing some tech stuff on Discord. So apologies for that. Yeah, we've made some big improvements, and now we have replays available within Generation 3 for the first time ever. It was yesterday when all of the technological stuff was solved. I tested it out last night, made some edits this morning, and I can confirm that everything is working. I'm really excited about it. First of all, though, we got to talk about Absol. I will talk about the tech stuff at some point, so if you hate that stuff, click off now. I'm probably going to rant about it way too long. Okay, so let's talk about Absol in Pokemon Emerald. So in my tier list right now, this is first attempts. This tier list is my first attempts. Absol is just kind of middle of the pack. Like, it's literally one of the middle Pokemon alongside Altaria, Slacking, Torkoal, and Mawile. It's not awful down at the bottom like something like Manectric or the Reggies, Delibird, Love Disc. Butterfree will do better when I redo it because it has Compound Eyes, but Absol also didn't do fantastically. If we look at this graphic, though, from the perspective of time, Absol is ranked lower just because I did it longer ago. Like a Pokemon like Ninjask is probably not going to outperform it in the end because I just did that one very recently. I have a lot more knowledge. I'm better at the game. I know the game. Yeah, it's just like Absol is getting ranked lower because of that. Okay, let's talk about Absol. What makes it a Pokemon? So, for base stats, 65 HP, 130 attack, 60 defense and special defense, and 75 speed and special attack. So it's essentially a physical attacker with low defenses and mid-range HP with okay speed. Now, it's a dark type, and when I look at Absol, I go like, wow, this thing is like, I don't know, it's like really rare. So it's going to have a slow growth rate, right? It's a quadruped. Manectric has a slow growth rate. Houndoom has a slow growth rate. Arcanine has a slow growth rate. Seems like they like quadrupedal, kind of dog-like Pokemon to be slow growth rates. You know what? It's not. It's a medium slow growth rate. This is amazing. I don't know what made Game Freak decide on that, but I'm really happy they did. It's going to help us out a lot today. For ability, we only have one ability. It's Pressure. This is essentially irrelevant. There's not going to be a case where we stall out a Pokemon and it runs out of PP because it's attacking us. If that does happen, I'll be incredibly surprised. Also, Churro may say hi at some point. The foster cat may also say hi. They're all like hanging out together now, so if you hear any like scuffles with cats, they're fine. They're just asserting their boundaries. They've been around each other for a couple days now. Okay, so move pool. Let's go through it. Starts with Scratch and Leer. Then at level 9 it gets Taunt. A move that previously I would have said is irrelevant, but we're going to talk more about Taunt as we do this run. MM46, thank you for the 10 membership gifts. Then it continues with Quick Attack at 13, Razor Wind at 17, probably one of the worst moves in all of Pokemon, and then Bite at level 21. Remember, in Generation 2 and 3, Dark-type moves deal special damage, so Bite is not physical. Then at 26, we get Swords Dance, one of the best setup moves in the game, Double Team, which is banned, at 31, Slash at 36, Future Sight at 41, which is just awful, and Perish Song at 46. Honestly, kind of an underwhelming end to the moveset, but early on Swords Dance at 26 is really good. Through TM&HM and Tutor, it gets so many coverage moves like Ice Beam, Blizzard, Thunderbolt, Aerial Ace, Flamethrower, Shockwave. It also gets like Thunder Wave and Fury Cutter and a bunch of other things like Rock Slide through Tutor. All of those are available in the battle tower, and I don't get BP during these runs, so I'm not going to get those today. Okay, wow, the cats are making tons of noise. They're like chasing each other around, having so much fun. Pure joy having cats around. I also have a cat cam set up, but right now there is no cat present, so I can just like, look, I'm actually a person. I'm not a robot, despite what my voice sounds like. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the tech upgrades that we've made recently, and hopefully this works. So yesterday, for the very first time ever, we were able to get input replays working in Generation 3 so that I can play back replay files. And this is a replay file, and I will prove it to you. So here's the cat cam. You can see the gameplay is scrolling. I am not playing right now. So this is a replay file that I recorded last night, doing an Absol playthrough and messing up on setting the clock, as you can see there. We are... this is like the very first time I've done this, so it's pretty cool that we got them working. Someone from the community, Dagron, was able to help me out modifying source files for the like old stuff that we had left over from GameHook. Then we built a writing, he built a writing driver for BizHawk so that we can send data to BizHawk from my software. Which was the only reason I couldn't do it before, and BizHawk has the ability to record input replays. So now, essentially, I have completely removed RetroArch from my software stack. I am using SuperShucky for Generation 1 and 2, and then I am using BizHawk for Generation 3 and 4, and I now have write access to both the Generation 3 games on BizHawk and the Generation 4 games. So up until now with Generation 4, when I'm playing them, I just have to pause and use PKHex to like edit stuff. But I don't have to do that. I won't have to do that anymore in Platinum in the coming few months as we develop the software functions required to do it. Anyways, it's really exciting that we got this. We also have another piece of cool technology, which I forgot to set up before the stream because apparently there's just like a lot going on right now. So I'm going to do that behind the scenes quickly, and then I'll show it to you. 1 second. I need to like make a nice little filter here, otherwise it won't look perfect. What is it? It's like chroma key or something. You can't like add opacity to things very easily in OBS, which I always find a little bit frustrating. I wish there was just like a slider for that somewhere in a much more accessible menu, but that's okay. Okay, so here we go. We now have, sorry, the green is getting cropped out because I used a thing, but we now have RBY XP Router working in Generation 3, so it is recording what I'm doing in the game right now while this replay file is playing back, and we can get live damage ranges and all of that stuff. So this is also a brand new thing. This is I have not used it up until this point, so this is the first time that I'm also using the XP Router. So XP Router and replay files both happened in one day, essentially. Austin has been using the XP Router a little bit more than I have, and yesterday, we sat down and I talked through his Gardevoir run, which has a really impressive time. I'm not going to spoil the Gardevoir time that he got, but it's so good. Like 2 years ago, if someone had told me that someone would get that time with Gardevoir, I would have literally looked at them and go like, yeah, they're obviously cheating or hacking, or like they're not playing the game with the same rules that I'm using, blah, 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 blah. It's like just not possible. But it's possible. You can play Emerald really fast. Okay. And where would we see Austin's runs exactly? Well, that conversation that I had with him when we went through it and talked about all the strategy, that is going to be uploaded on this channel sometime in the future. I don't know. Sean is going to start editing it at some point today. So, yeah, he's going to edit it. We're going to put that up on the channel at some point. Essentially what I'm doing right now is I'm experimenting with some different types of content and different ways of doing things on the channel. I think, like, there's always going to be like a main release on Saturdays, which will be the content you always have come to expect. It's like some kind of narrative version of a solo challenge where I do like post-production on it and record voiceover. Then on Thursdays, I'm now doing this stream, which is, I'm trying to do this every week as much as possible. It only doesn't happen when I'm way too busy or like my voice is blown out or I'm sick or something like that. So those two things are going to happen every week, but I'm also going to try and add a third thing, which will be some other kind of content, like maybe like ranking all of the Generation 1 sprites in a tier list. I recorded that, we just haven't had time to edit it yet. And then also some of these other videos where I'll be talking to people that also play these games and asking them questions about their approaches. So I did a stream like that with Snowy, who is here in chat, a little while ago. Their Farfetch'd run is so good, so we talked about that during that stream. But I'm gonna transition those away from being streams for a little bit, just to test them out, because I thought that with this stream, it was like very easy for me to at least get distracted by the chat, that sort of thing, just looking at the chat. And whenever I'd look at the chat and get distracted, I think it would lower the quality of the analysis of the run that was happening. So what I'm trying to do now is we'll do those offline, just me and one other person, kind of like a podcast, sitting down to talk through a run, really dig into the strategy, that sort of thing. And then we're going to do a little bit of editing on it just to clean up the dialogue so there aren't a lot of big gaps for you to wait, or we're not just like sitting there cutting each other off for like 5 minutes. We'll align all the footage so that things sync up and then release that for you in like as a different kind of style of video, more of conversational. I watch a lot of podcasts myself. I really enjoy that kind of content, so I'm just like looking forward to look into it. And the next one that will come out will be talking about Snowy's Kangaskhan run. That one should be out maybe next week. We're also working on like a 2.5 hour video right now. That one I am hoping is going to come out sooner. That's what's delaying everything else. Okay, so Machop, I almost fought the trainer with Machop, and then I immediately turned back, and you like saw me do a little like route back where I wasted some time. I just don't want to fight the Machop guy with low kick. If it crits me, I think it would do a lot of damage, so I wanted to avoid that till I've done extra training. In this case, I'm going to be grinding to level 21 to get Bite for Roxanne. I don't think it's going to hold Absol back that much. Now, if you've been paying close attention, you will notice that I have been using Taunt throughout the early game because I did say that this was a useful move, despite what I felt about it when I was a kid. Honestly, anything that didn't deal damage I just thought was trash. Taunt felt like a bad move because I wanted the enemy to use status moves. Like, if the enemy is using Defense Curl, they're not damaging me, so it feels good. Taunt is literally the opposite of that. You're forcing them to attack, which seems like the worst thing in the world when you're a kid. So Taunt felt like one of the worst moves in the game, if not the worst move. But now I recognize that it's very good because you can apply Taunt to the opponent and then they can't attack, which forces them out of status moves. If they had already chosen a status move on the turn that you use Taunt, their move will just fail. They won't be able to do anything. So using it against Geodudes there prevents them from using Defense Curl so that I can attack with Quick Attack and lower their defense with Leer. Using it on other Pokemon will prevent them from using status moves like Thunder Wave, which is going to be very advantageous later into the run. Can't wait for the 2-hour video re-ranking Electrode and Magneton. Oh, yeah. This video is kind of related to those two. You already know what it is anyways. It's like the video that we're working on right now is Sand/Dugtrio and Marowak in yellow. It was supposed to come out on Mother's Day, but I didn't make it. I'm sorry. Oh, hey, Austin. Also, I have to give a huge shout out to Austin. Austin has helped so much with the programming of Emerald version. Like, a lot of the stuff on the overlay and how it's running is a result of Austin's hard work. He's had access to the code for maybe 2 or 3 months now, and has been making changes at the same time as testing Generation 3 and doing a lot of playthroughs in Generation 3. That means his skill is much better than mine now because he has so much practice, but it also improved the software. And I haven't played that much Generation 3 in the last little while. I've been focusing more on, again, like defeating yellow version with ground types. By the way, ground types in yellow, you don't have to worry about Sand Slash or Magneton. It's like perfect. I love it. Okay, so why grind here? Why not grind on Whismur, get HP, EVs, that sort of thing? Honestly, I don't think it really matters. I just want to gain experience as fast as possible, and I do think that I gain it a little bit faster out here, because occasionally Abra show up and they give more experience than some of the other Pokemon. The Whismur, I think, overall have lower experience yields, and they're at lower levels. Plus, you have to walk further, and I don't want to walk that far. Here, I'm also eventually going to encounter an Abra and try and catch it with my Great Ball that you get from the forest when you defeat the Aqua Grunt with his Poochyena. There's the Abra. I think I try to catch this one, yeah. So you just like YOLO Ball because can't stop it from escaping. I don't actually know if I use Taunt on it, if it can't use Teleport and then it just struggles. I think that might be possible, but I did not experiment with that interaction. So someone let me know in the comments if, or in the chat if you know. Also, Churro's like, he's really loud right now, sorry. If you taunted, it can't teleport. Okay, that's cool. So I should do that in the future then. For 2 turns. Yep. Okay, so... Okay, so Roxanne. Roxanne's kind of a pain if you have to beat her with Quick Attack and Scratch. Like, I have a really great attack stat, and I do have Leer, but I don't really want to fight her. Here she has 3 rock types. They have Rock Tomb, lower my speed. She has potions and an Oran Berry, that kind of stuff. Also, Absol's the medium slow growth rate, so it levels up pretty quickly. I felt that investing in the training is not actually that much of a detriment to it. It can just grind up to level 21 quite quickly, then fight Roxanne and beat her with consistency and move on to the rest of the game without any problems. That said, as a dark type, I am weak to fighting types, and I'm going to skip Brawly. I won't have Swords Dance before Brawly unless I grind on like every trainer and a bunch of wild Pokemon, and I don't think that that's worth it. Instead, I think just skipping him and then backtracking there later in the game is going to overall be faster. Is it not consistent with Leer? Like, we could test it with Leer after this run, and I can show you what the damage ranges would be. I don't actually know. This is a run that I literally sat down and just played last night. I didn't do like any studying into Absol outside of looking at the results that Axu Karisora has achieved, as well as the results that Austin achieved. I looked at those. I was like, okay, this seems like that seems like about where Absol's supposed to get ranked. Let's see how I can do with a similar strategy. Okay, so I'm going to end the poll. Most people think under an hour and 45 minutes. So we'll see how well this run goes, or how badly this run goes. 24% of people think under an hour and 30 minutes, which would put it very close to the top of the tier list. And then less than 2 hours would be just like not very good, and over 2 hours is quite bad, at least at this point in my Emerald development. My best time right now is Mewtwo, and I got a time of like 1 hour, 22 minutes and 10 seconds or something like that. It's close to getting under an hour and 20 minutes. It kind of feels like, right now I feel with Emerald, I'm kind of in the place I was in with Crystal like 2 years ago. That's sort of how I feel in terms of my play. I also think my play in Emerald is the worst of all of the games that I'm playing. I do think I play Platinum better than Emerald right now. Also, I switched Leer into the first slot so that when I learn Bite, I can just spam A through it and not have to think about that. Whenever you have to think about dialogue and like take time to like visually process things, you're gonna slow down. So I like to not have to do that if I can prevent it. I think you'd be able to tank 1 Vital Throw from full health from Brawly's Makuhita, no? Yeah, I think so. I think I can tank some damage, but like the issue with that is that I'm gonna be relying on Quick Attack for him if I don't have Swords Dance. And Quick Attack's not very good. Plus he can set up with Bulk Up, meaning I do less damage, and then Super Potion like the Machop, and then crit with Karate Chop. I just want to avoid it in general. Wouldn't Rock or Flying work better? Lurker, I think you're thinking a little bit too globally. In Emerald, with Hidden Power, you need to think about 2 fights. You need to think about what's your solution for Tate and Liza, and what's your solution for Steven. After that, you need to then, if both of those fights feel like you can manage them with the current moveset, you're like, well, like Absol has Flamethrower, so we've got an answer for Steven, and for Tate and Liza, we've got Dark moves. We're a Dark type, so we're fine. So like we don't need to manage those two fights. Then you start thinking about things like Wallace. Like, okay, how am I going to manage his water types? Also, teleport there. You can just go back to the Pokemon Center, then walk up there. You don't have to use another repel. It saves a little bit of menuing time. Teleport's really good in Emerald as a field move. It's like really good. I think this is the best game for teleport in the field. I'll also try and call out some things that I've learned from Austin during this run. I don't know if I'll mention Austin every single time, but when that video comes out, you'll get a sense for where I learned those things. Because chronologically it happened yesterday. And I was able to apply those things then immediately after. That's also something about learning. If you guys want to learn these kind of runs really quickly or something like that, whenever you learn something, immediately implement it and actually go and do it. Like practice it. Don't just like think about it and then walk away. It's really like for memory consolidation. You want to use the thing that you've just learned as soon as possible. So I planned my week around that. I was like, Wednesday night I need to do an Absol playthrough, and Thursday morning I'm going to do the Absol stream, which will be another playthrough and another chance to consolidate the information. So I'm going to do the Absol playthrough right before I go to sleep, wake up, then do another Absol run on stream, and that will help memory consolidation of the things that I learned from the like interview thing that I did just before that. Okay. Everyone who says, wouldn't Hidden Power X be good? We'll talk about Hidden Power as this run continues on. There are lots of Hidden Power types that are good. In Emerald, because of how IVs work, you don't need to be so worried about Hidden Power. I think I'm also a little bit too sensitive about how I'm choosing my Hidden Power in Generation 2. In general, just having the right type coverage is the correct choice. It's not as good to just have perfect stats but have bad type coverage. Like Tyranitar is a great example of that. It really needs Hidden Power Flying to get through Bruno and Chuck. Whereas without those, it has to level up more and it's a slow growth rate, so then it just slows down like crazy. But if you look here at my IVs, I have 31 in everything and then 30 in special attack and special defense. That's what gives me Hidden Power Ground, because Hidden Power is still calculated based on your IVs in this game. But because the IVs now range from 0 to 31, you have so much room to play with them. Like I'm only losing like, what is it? It's like 4% or something of my IV by taking the hit from Hidden Power. Because of that, it's much less impactful, and every single Hidden Power type, you will never go below 30 in one of your IVs in Generation 3. Whereas in Generation 2, you'll go down to like 3 HP in some cases, like Hidden Power Fire. It's just like, you have 3 HP. It's like, okay, so I lost like, what's that, 80% of my HP IV. It's pretty bad. Okay, so I shouldn't have fought this guy. This guy's trash. Don't fight him, he has 2 Magikarp. Anytime there's a trainer that has Magikarp, avoid them, unless they have a bunch of Gyarados. There's one guy in this game that has 5 Gyarados, so he's really good to fight. Also, I skipped Flash. I don't need Flash anymore. Victory Road... Victory Road, I got so lost in it during my first Butterfree playthrough of Emerald. Go watch that video if you want to. I think I talk about it for like maybe 2 seconds. I probably should have talked about it for like 10 minutes of the video, because I got real frustrated when playing it behind the scenes. Or maybe I streamed that run, I don't remember. But it was very frustrating getting stuck in Victory Road. I don't need it now though, because I know the route through there. There's actually 2 routes through Victory Road, so I'm going to update mine. But like I said before, I'm going to go to Slateport next instead of fighting Brawly. Also, the cursor buffers on the exit menu item there, which is very frustrating. I wish the cursor would buffer on the city you want to go to next. That makes the most sense. But it buffers on exit, so you sometimes exit the dialogue and then have to like go back into the dialogue if you're playing too quickly. I use rapid fire keys for my playthroughs so that I don't wear my hands out. Again, I'm just competing against myself. I don't like assert these as like official speedrun times or anything like that. So I'm competing with myself, and it saves my arms when I do so many playthroughs. And I've had RSI in the past, so I just need to be really careful. Also on the beach, I'm noticing that it makes more sense if you want experience to fight the trainers in here and get the soda pop. Then you get like 6 soda pop or something, and you can use those as healing items throughout the rest of the playthrough. That definitely seems like the better choice than just fighting people that are outside. Yeah, I used to play with a keyboard, and when I played with a keyboard, I ruined my arms as well. Like, I can do about 1 run with the keyboard now, and then my arms get really sore. But I can do like maybe 3 with a controller every day, and my arms don't get sore. So I have much more, like, the controller is a much more ergonomic position for your hands to be in. Whereas like a keyboard, like if you're holding your fingers above the keyboard so you're not depressing the keys, it takes tension to hold the fingers up. So then all the tendons and muscles, like they atrophy quicker. If you don't have problems with it, then like that's fine. Just do whatever makes sense for you. But if you do have problems with it, I would highly suggest switching to a controller and seeing if that helps you. It's like advice is always only useful if you're having problems with the thing that the advice is trying to solve. If you're not having problems, like just discard all advice, keep doing what you're doing, you're fine. Okay, so Slaveport City. I'm not healing here anymore. I used to be healing here. I'm really trying to cut down on the amount of heals that I'm doing throughout the entire playthrough. That's a huge, like, a huge push of what I'm trying to accomplish. Also, I was trying to steal the Oranberry here because Austin showed me this. I was like, oh yeah, I want to take the Oranberry. Like, this is going to be so fun and stylish. Then I realized, like, oh, I gave myself the silk scarf, so I can't steal it. And then I just felt really embarrassed and got paralyzed. And then I opened my inventory and I, like, fumble around here for a little bit. This is really not efficient play. Like, I close, I think I, like, restore health. I go to, like, the berry pouch. I close the inventory. Then I, like, come back in, use the paralyze heal. It's like, ugh. This is so sloppy. Using Thief is always rewarding, yeah. Yeah, I'm learning that, like, Thief is a better move than I've given it credit for, at least in this generation. In Generation 2, Thief is kind of useless because you get it so late into the playthrough, like, essentially after Morty. You can get it... No, you can't get it before Morty. After Morty, you get it, but the enemy Pokemon don't have held items, so you're never going to steal something. But in this case, like, whenever I think about games... Whenever you can take something away from the opponent and gain the advantage that they would have had, it's like a swing. Like it's like before they would have had like 10 extra health, but now they don't have that 10 extra health and I have 10 extra health. That's like a 20-point difference in the overall battle. And I know that it's not entirely equivalent because how the enemy's HP and how your HP are utilized are fundamentally different, but whenever you can make something like that happen where it's a swing, you take something away from the opponent and you gain it yourself, it's very, very, very good. So it makes sense that Thief's base power is quite low. Okay, level 26, we're going to learn Sword Stance. I'm going to put it in the place of Thief. I want to keep Bite just for primary damage for now, and then I want to keep Quick Attack so that I can boost a move with Sword Stance, because remember, Bite deals special damage. And I'm going to keep Taunt on my set for now. Someone asked which controller I use. I use the Xbox Elite controller, the like really expensive one. I need the paddles that are on the back of it. I use those as like a mirror of the A and B button so that I'm not always using the same part of my hand to spam buttons. It allows me to like distribute the load between a bunch of different fingers so that I'm not tiring myself out. Yeah, Ghost Special and Dark Physical would have made more sense when they introduced the type in Generation 2. They probably... I wonder if they didn't change it for, like... They were like, we need to keep it the same for, like, backwards compatibility or something like that. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird choice. I don't use either of the triggers for A. Yeah, Dark being special in Generation 2 is brutal for most of the Dark types. The only one that is different is Houndoom. Because it gets Fire and Dark moves, and it has a high special attack, so it's like, it's really happy about it. Scott, I feel like something your runs could use some sort of note-taking between major fights to tell whether or not it's worth saving first. An interesting idea. I don't like, yeah. I keep experimenting with like stopping while I'm playing and then taking notes and then like continuing, but it always feels like, it never feels fun and it never feels like it's helping. It takes me out of it and I don't like have the same kind of like I'm distracted. Also here, you can just like taunt things like this. Like the Roselia is bad if you don't one-hit it and it uses Stun Spore on you. Then the rest of the fight gets really challenging. But here I can just taunt Swords Dance Quick Attack. Like, it's an amazing combo. You force them to attack you with a terrible move like Absorb, then you set up your attack, then you one-hit everything. It's so good. Also, I always mess this dialogue up and exit out, and then I have to talk to him again. Yeah, automating something, Max, automating something like that to like take notes about where I should save is an interesting idea. In general, like I want to save as little as possible in these runs. So just like, it's also a mindset thing. Like usually when I save, I'm just thinking about the worst case scenario. I'm saving literally because I'm like, what if they like, in Gen 1, what if I Gen 1 miss and then they freeze with Blizzard and then I lose the entire run because of this? And I don't play with Rewind on, so if like my rules allowed me to play with Rewind on, then I wouldn't worry about that. I just wouldn't save. If there was some ridiculous luck, I just rewind. But I can't rewind, so I have to restart the run if I lose because I didn't save. And in first playthroughs, I save in front of pretty much every major battle because and that's what this is. This is essentially like a first run. It's the first run back to Absol since I played it last time. Also Wattson, not an issue when you have Swords Dance. I used Swords Dance once with the Cherry Berry on the Voltorb because I could recover from its status condition if it got it with Spark. Then I knocked it out so that it doesn't have more chances to roll the status condition. And after that, I set up on the Electrike because it loves to just mirror your setup with Howl, which is obviously useless. And that gives me +6, and then I can two-shot the Magneton. The only problem there is if I burn the Cherry Berry early into the fight, then there's the potential for the Magneton to paralyze me with Thunder Wave and not to move against the Manectric. But I figured I would eventually be able to beat him. Scott, did you want the FPS counter on the title window for BizHawk or on the bottom footer? Either, it doesn't matter. With RetroArch, it was always on the header before, so like the header is probably what I'm most used to. That's where it is in Super Shucky as well. The header is probably the best, like the little bar at the top of the application that says the name of the application. Just as long as it's not in the game area, because like, let me show you all what I mean. So because this is playing back live, I can turn on different aspects of the emulation. Oh, I actually can't, because then it'll pause it, so we can't pause it, sorry. But I could like turn on an FPS counter right now. It just sits in the game area and it looks really ugly. I just don't want it. I want to be able to see the FPS, but not have it impact my game. My problem is not saving enough because I sometimes underestimate trainers. Yeah. It's like okay, it's like not saving enough is like sometimes a problem. I would say like not saving enough is like the problem for first playthroughs. But then for like second playthroughs, it's probably like saving too much is just gonna like bloat your time and be unnecessary. And there's probably we could probably work towards a middle path of like saving just the right amount. Like for every trainer that you know you have like a 50-50 shot on, just always save there, and then for other trainers you can skip the save. Scott, do you agree with the idea that water are the best type? No, I don't think water type are the best type. I actually don't like solo running water types. I don't think they're very good. They're quite good in Generation 2, but normal types are better. So I would say water type is probably the second best type in Generation 2. In Generation 1, I don't think water types are that good because Surf is not very good against the League, which means their most powerful move that you cannot forget. You're just trapped with it for the rest of the game and it's not useful. And then Gen 3, I haven't played a lot of water types. They're okay, but they're nothing in comparison to the fighting type. The fighting type is ridiculously good. Okay, coming down here, this is from Austin. yesterday. Thank you, Austin, for showing me this. This guy has good experience yields, so I'm going to come down here and fight him. And then I'm going to go back up and rock smash the rock and skip the other trainer. And then go over and pick up the HM for strength right now. Note that my waypoint for teleport is still set to Mauville City, so I can return to Mauville City whenever I want. That's very important because normally I would have set the waypoint to Fall Arbor Town and then teleported back there. But in this case, I'm going to smash this rock, get HM04, and then I'm going to go back and teleport to Mauville City and then walk north towards Mount Pyre. Is it Mount Pyre? Mount Chimney. This one's Mount Chimney. Mount Pyre is the other one. Because like Funeral Pyre, so it's like the place where all the ghost Pokemon are. It makes sense, but I always forget. I always mix them up in voiceovers and then people call me out on it. Also, this is a mistake. I'm just like autopiloting here. Because every time I normally go through this route, I go this way and then I'm like, oh no, yeah, that's not where I'm supposed to go. I gotta go up the gondola. No, I don't need black glasses. I could have grabbed the black glasses there, but I'm about to unlearn Bite for the rest of the playthrough. So at that point, I'll have no more dark moves, and I'm not going to learn any new ones. So dark moves are basically going to be irrelevant outside of the early game. So picking up black glasses is just going to waste time. Yeah, I think like water types, they feel very well rounded. I don't think they're a bad type. Like, I think the thing is that I always think that water types are amazing, so when I sit down to do a solo run, I'm always disappointed in the results the water type gets, because I expect it to be a little bit better. So I have high expectations for water types, and then they always, like, fail to impress me. Whereas, like, another typing, like the fighting type in Generation 3 is, like, I had very low expectations. And now that I've played a couple fighting types, like, they are really good in this game. Like, really good. It's ridiculous how good fighting types are in Gen 3. In Emerald, at least. Okay, Maxie. Mightyena, normally annoying, but Taunt, it can't Sand Attack. Then you can set up Swords Dance. Just amazing. By the way, I did not know how long Taunt lasts for in Generation 3 when I played this run. So I thought, like, if I use Taunt, they just can't do anything. I'm going to look it up now and just confirm, because Austin said 2 turns. I don't actually know how long it is. Let's see. In Generation 3, Taunt is always 2 turns. I don't know why. What's going on? Did we like freeze or something? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Note to self, never open Bulbapedia during a stream ever again. Oh my gosh. I don't know if anyone's had this problem, but like Bulbapedia has become near unusable because of the ads that they put on it recently. I open it now and like my entire computer just like starts like having so many tech problems. It's like graphics and stuff just like stop rendering and like, I don't know. Bulbapedia, it's not your internet, it's Bulbapedia. I opened Bulbapedia, so I gotta find a different site. It's like, use an ad blocker, sure, but like I also want like Bulbapedia to be able to continue existing because Bulbapedia is I always really liked Bulbapedia. I thought that the information's laid out in a really good way. And I personally prefer its design over something like Pokemon DB. And Pokemon DB is not as accurate for early generation Pokemon. It's better for current generation Pokemon, in my opinion. Okay, Flannery. That's it. There's nothing else to say. Nummel's so bad, you can just set up and then sweep her team. I really mistimed that. Okay, so I'm going to go back through the Fiery Path all the way to Fall Arbor Town because I want to pick up the return TM as soon as possible. Absol looks like a normal type, and it's basically going to function as a normal type from here on out because return is its best move. It has the highest base power of a physical move. I don't know if this thing can learn Double Edge. Yeah, it can learn Double Edge through Tutor, but like you don't want to learn Double Edge. You don't get Rockhead, so. Yeah, I don't think like 3 swords dances for Flannery is required. I don't have hidden power though, so I did not backtrack to get hidden power yet. I don't think backtracking for hidden power before Flannery makes sense if the Pokemon has a way buyer. Like it, yeah, I think you waste more time doing that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe when I went to Mauville City, it's like net neutral, you might as well just do it anyways. Yeah, I think that's actually correct. I think I should just get hidden power for Flannery. If you have teleport and you can get back to Mauville City with it in the mid game, if you have to walk back to Mauville City, it's not worth it. But if you can teleport back to Mauville City, I think it's worth it. Yeah, Absol does feel like Furfru, but like Gen, yeah. Okay, so here I'm going to teach hidden power ground, and then I'm also going to teach return. Return has higher base power than secret power, just by a little bit. And then I'm going to take the boat back to Dewford. This is also why the Mauville City teleport waypoint is good, because then you can get back here really quickly, and then this boat will just take you to Petalburg City. It's pretty quick. Why ground? We'll talk about ground later. But mostly Steven. Mostly Steven. Because return is going to be powerful enough for pretty much every other trainer in the game, and then ground is going to manage most of Steven's Pokemon. My initial thought when I sat down to do this run was hidden power fighting to counter Steven. Because in general, I like hidden power fighting a little bit more against, or I have been prioritizing hidden power fighting a little bit more against Steven's Pokemon. But I don't think that, in the end, when you look at all the numbers, ground is better against Steven than fighting. Yeah, Skarmory is an issue. We'll talk about that later. Okay, this is something that I learned from Austin yesterday. Instead of going and fighting the Spinda person, which I usually fight, and that it has awful experience, go this side and then fight these 3 trainers, because you'll get more experience and it's the same number of battles. So it just makes sense to fight the trainers that will give you more experience than the trainers on the other side. Small optimization, but everything counts. Just get rid of an Oranberry, might as well. Okay, Personberry, Swords Dance. I want to set up more than once here if possible. I think I could taunt the Spinda into using Psybeam. That's probably, and Facade. I think that's probably the better choice. And then set up more and then one-hit the Slacking with +6. You do not one-hit with +4, by the way. It's still a 2-hit. So you need +6 to get it against it. But you can also do things this way. Swords Dance on the turn that it could counter, then attack, then Swords Dance again on the next turn when it could counter, or I guess return again if you outspeed, and we do outspeed. You need, I think 69 speed to move first against all of Norman's Pokemon. I think in a solo run, attacking stats do not matter much. Well, Snowy, I think that you have a lot of experience in Generation 2. That screams Generation 2 to me. Like, I think attacking stats do matter a lot in Generation 3 and Generation 1, but in Generation 2, where the level curve is so much lower and all the enemy Pokemon are weaker, your attacking stat matters much less. Whereas, like, in this game, it matters a lot more, because, like, at the end of the game with Steven, it's like, if I get like 10 more attack points, that's going to like dramatically change damage ranges against those Pokemon. They'll take them from 3 hits to 2 hits, or from 2 hits to 1 hits, that sort of thing. Okay, so I teleported back to Mauville City again. You might be right. Yeah, I think I am. I always think that when I'm in Generation 2, I'm just like, I wish I could take some of my attacking stats with like really good Pokemon and just like move them over to other stats. Like, if I could just have a little bit more speed right now, that would be helpful. Or like a little bit more special defense for red. That would be really, really nice. But in this game, I don't think that. Also, I don't know. There's a protein over here. I don't know where it is. I think it might be behind the tower, so I'm not going to look for it today. I'll find it later. I know it's there because I saw Austin pick it up. Also, okay, going to this side, I didn't realize it, but going to this side is like really good. I normally have to dodge a bunch of trainers on the other side, but if you go on the right, there's a hyper potion and there's no trainers, so it's a lot easier. Dodging trainers that are just casually walking around or spinning, that sort of thing, that's a huge part of Emerald. There are so many annoying trainers that can just occasionally catch you, especially the fishers. Also, Austin, I don't know if you know about this, you can fight just this guy and not the other person. You fought both, I think. But you don't have to. You can just fight one. Or maybe I fight the top one, you fight the bottom one. I don't know. Maybe that's better. Maybe I'm doing the bad thing. Okay, slash. Not useful. Right now, this is going to surprise a lot of people, I think, because some of the comments that I got at the beginning of the stream in chat, people were saying like, wow, it has a really diverse move pool. Yeah, we're done. This is our final set. Return, Hidden Power, Ground, Swords Dance, and Taunt. We're not doing anything else throughout the rest of the playthrough. Just these moves, we're done. Absol can beat everything from here. No heal, don't need the bed. Fight the rival. This is very important, I'm saving right here. Okay? Now we're going to fight the rival. Swords Dance. Figured the Pelipper's just going to go for Protect. It could have gone for Supersonic, but I risked it. And then Return. Knock out the Combustion in one hit, and it's fine. Just going to like quickly look at that damage range. If I would have one-hit the Combustion with Hidden Power Ground anyways, so I don't actually need the setup there. It might be safer. Let me just look again. Yeah, I don't one-hit the Pelipper, so it might be safer to taunt it and then set up and then one-hit it. I think I messed this up. Yeah, I do. I fight this person. If anything, I would change taunt for substitute. Wink, wink. Yeah, I know, right? Substitute's real good. You have to get substitute after the leak, though. Because then you don't have to fight the rival. Unless you want to fight the rival. Nah, we don't need Shadow Ball. Why would we need Shadow Ball? Shadow Ball actually takes a long time to get. You have to go by so many spinning trainers, and you have to go all the way up Mount Pyre, like the interior of it. It genuinely takes a lot of time. Also, zinc here. There's a hidden zinc that you can sell for money. There is a nugget right here. I don't really think Absol needs these, so I'll probably skip them in the playthrough after this one that I do live on stream. That said, they will be useful for other Pokemon, but not for Absol, I don't think. You don't have to fight the rival. Outside the department store, they just disappear and you never have to do the fight. Okay, so Bug Maniac, check this guy out. Protects. My return does not one hit, then he roars me out. So I have to switch. Oh no, Churro, please don't mess something up. Just go to your bed. Come on, come on. Oh gosh, oh gosh. Oh, that was the most stressful thing ever. He's very good at dodging all of the technology. Perfect. There we go. Awesome. Well done, buddy. He's gonna go to sleep, hopefully. And then not get up and start screaming again. Okay, so as you can see, I'm having some problems here because I ran out of return PP. Hidden Power will not hit the Beautyfly. It keeps switching me out with things like Whirlwind. I'm going to have to spam out a lot of PP against it. I also have a full team, and the Beautyfly is really bad. Like, its best move is Mega Drain, so eventually I just decided, like, it's going to take way too long to lose here, and if I win, then an HM user will be responsible for it. So I decided to reset, and that takes me all the way back before the rival. The timer isn't running anymore. I don't know why the timer isn't running anymore. Okay, just a second. That's weird. All right, we are experiencing a technical difficulty. I'm amazed actually we made it this far. We got an error in a really weird part of the code. I have no idea why. I have no idea why. That's very strange. And now it won't load. Oh, did GameHook crash? I think GameHook crashed. It did. Interesting. Alright, there's going to be some small discrepancies in time that we will have throughout this run. So there's going to be one here, but I think we've recovered from it. Yeah, Rosie, come and hang out too. Oh, amazing. We're going to get double cat. We might get double cat for the first time on stream. Okay. Tro's looking at Rosie right now. He's like, are you going to come and hang out? Alright, we're back. No, Rosie's gonna leave. I don't know what happened with GameHook there. Pretty weird. So I successfully dodged that trainer this time. Also, that reset was brutal. Like, that's one of the biggest resets. You never want to have to reset and go back before more than just the trainer you're fighting. Oh. Oh, where's he going? There we go. He's turning around. Okay. Yeah, at the end of the run, I'll just report the time that I got last night. So I'll just mention that to all of you because it'll be off by like, we don't know, maybe 30 seconds or something. Because there was one other spot where like the playback of the emulator just stopped because I was trying to go into a menu. Yeah, buddy. He's so cute. I'm such a cat person now. I was not a cat person. The foster came and slept in the bed last night. It was very cute. She like came and curled up beside me and then was purring a bunch. I'm like, this is the cutest thing ever. Also, this guy is so annoying. I don't have the ability to like turn the fight on or turn the fight off, like turn the speed up and down like I did with RetroArch. So before I just change it to 1x speed, walk by this guy and then change it back to 4x speed. But in this case, I don't have that ability with the new emulator. So I just tried to like YOLO by him. Both times he caught me and both times it was annoying. There's a rare candy down here. Go down here. Yeah, I could definitely taunt so that it doesn't use the move. I figured I would just roll for return again because it was so close to knocking it out last time. I'm like, well, I probably have like a 50% or better chance to one-shot this thing, but it survives. So, kind of annoying. Churro is so orange, he is, yeah. The fire type. Have you ever played these games without speedrunning? Yeah, of course. As a kid, I played them all like just standard playthroughs, that kind of thing. And then when I came back to them in 2013 as an adult, I tried to like beat the games like to get the full Pokedex and get living dexes, that sort of thing. I never got into shiny hunting, but I like did the living dex stuff for like most games, not Gen 4, but most games up to Generation 6. No, not 4 or 5 actually. And I never completed Emerald, but I completed Gen 1 and Gen 2 and then Gen 6. So not all the games, just 3 of them. And then I completed living dexes in Alola and in Sword and Shield. And I did not do a living dex for Scarlet and Violet. I got a good way through it though. But my preferred method of playing these games is just playing with one Pokemon, beat the game as fast as possible. Oh, the weird rectangles around the trees, they're actually trainers. And if you walk in front of them, the tree disappears, like they take it down, like it's like a camouflage, and then they attack you. So I just get to Lilycove City, and then I go back. This is something Austin showed me, which is basically you can do that to get more experience. Scott, do you know the average age of your viewer? Yeah, it's like between the age of like 27 and 35. Really, like if you're under the age of 24 and over the age of 40, you are not my viewership. It's like very, very, very a lot of, let's like 75% of people between the 27 to 35 range. Yeah, so like people, like my viewership, like it doesn't seem like we're really the people who are playing Gen 5 as our first gen. Like there's some people who are playing Gen 4, and then there's like most of us are like Gen 1ers for Gen 2. But yeah, not a lot of people in the later generations. I'm 18 and newly graduated. Congrats. It's good to know that some younger people are watching. That's fun. Ah, 21. Oh, so we do have someone from Generation 5. That's exciting. There are some people that are like over 65 that watch my channel though. It's like, I think it's all my dad. It's like my dad and my mom. They occasionally put on a video. Like, I remember him talking about this Pokemon when he was like 8. I'm like, I'm gonna watch him doing his career thing now with video games. I was really in training the whole time. They were like, you can only play 1 hour a day. And I was like, I'm gonna speed run the game every day. Beat the game once a day, see? That's why I had a budget of time for every day that I could only play on weekends. I could only play 1 hour a day. So I got 2 hours a week. Unless I sat on the toilet and pretended to be using the washroom and then hid the Game Boy in my pants. It was the only way. So I had to do that. And then they'd be like, are you okay in there? I'm like, yeah, I am. Like, don't come in. I'm currently beating Lorelei and I can't turn the Game Boy off. Otherwise, it won't save. Also, you can approach this thing from the left-hand side. I did not know that. I was always going around below it and then, like, hopping up. But you can just literally hop over from the left-hand side and then get onto it and move up. Just like, little tiny things. Thank you for commenting that. Someone commented that a while ago, and it was really helpful to hear that. Okay, so I have there's two different ways to do something in here, and I'm not sure which one's faster. Either you can go and get the rare candy now, like I'm going to do here. So I have to walk all of this distance. Then I have to fight one trainer. Then I pick up the rare candy. Then I have to walk out of here and go and fight Maxie. But after defeating Maxie, I can escape rope out. The other option is go and defeat Maxie right away. Then, instead of escape roping out, walk back through the cave, pick up the rare candy, and escape rope out. That's how Austin did it. And I was like, that's smart, because the trainer disappears, so you don't have to fight the trainer. Although the trainer's very fast. So I'm not sure which one is going to be faster. Don't know if I should ask this here, but are there any immediate plans for StarCraft content on your other channel? Been checking every few days. Yeah, honestly, I want to make the StarCraft stuff. Okay, so like the next portion of the game is not particularly interesting. We talked about Maxie at the last fight. Also, Future Sight here is just completely useless, as I've said before. So we're obviously not going to take it. One thing that Maxie's going to be the same as before. We can just like taunt the Mightyena and then set up and then sweep his team. It's not that bad. I'm not faster than the Crobat, so I'm going to run, I think, a Person Berry for this fight just in case it confuses me. It ends up being important and it does heal the confusion after I knock the Mightyena out, so I'm glad I did that. Now that I've summarized that fight, I want to just talk a little bit about some stuff that's been going on behind the scenes on the channel. So if you didn't know, like about 3 years ago when the channel really started gaining a little bit of momentum on YouTube, I started having voice problems after I did a 4-hour recording session on Kabutops versus Omastar. The reason I had to record for 4 hours in a row is, number one, I didn't know that I should be careful about my voice because my voice had never been a problem for me in the past. So I wasn't like, and I'm not a vocalist, I wasn't thinking like, oh, good vocal health is important. I've also been like young most of my life, so I did not know that at some point I would have to be careful about this sort of thing. Then I forgot to press record for like an hour and a half, and I had to go through an hour and a half section over again. Like I had to re-record an hour and a half section, so that's why it took so long to record the video. Plus the video is like an hour long. It was my longest video when I released it. That, like, the experience of doing that, it made my voice feel really dry, and I was like coughing a lot during the recording. Like my voice would just cut out, it would stop making sound altogether, that sort of thing. And I was just like, this is weird, like I'm obviously tired, like I've talked a lot, I'll just rest. And it didn't really go away for like I rested for like maybe a month or so, like only doing the recording that I needed to do for videos, and it was just minimal. But it did not recover as fast as I wanted it to, and I kept having problems. So much so that by last year, I was almost unable to record one video a week. Like, there was a lot of weeks where I was very worried that we would not get a release out, and just because of my voice. And there was other weeks where I would get a release out, but you could very clearly tell that my voice was dramatically different in different sections because I was recording them on different days, and like the tone quality of my voice and how it sounds changes so much as I use it. It's like I'm really like I guess envious of people if they can like sit down and just talk for like 3 hours and their voice sounds the same at the end as it did at the beginning. Like my voice changes dramatically over the course of like an hour and a half. And so if you put if I go back and do a retake on a line that I flubbed or that I had like a factual mistake on or something like that, it never sounds perfect in context of all the other stuff. Anyways, this was, I do not smoke now. And I never have smoked. Yeah. Anyways, it got to the point where I was like worried that I wasn't going to be able to do things like Daily December last year. But right before that, for some reason, my voice just started to get better. And then I found that I think I'm allergic to these guys. Yeah, buddy. I'm a little bit allergic to them, so I'm having some like laryngitis inflammation in the voice, which is causing it to degrade faster. So I went on like an allergy medication, and that dramatically improved my voice. Like so dramatically. All of the I went to a speech pathologist, I went to a doctor, I went to like an ear, nose, throat specialist doctor. They like did a scope and everything. Saw a speech pathologist for like a whole bunch of sessions. Saw 2 singing coaches, and saw a vocal coach, and met with some people in the community to talk about my voice. Like I did everything. I changed my diet, stopped drinking alcohol entirely, cut sugar out of my diet, started exercising. Like I genuinely tried like everything. And my voice did improve. It improved a lot actually. So much so that I could do Daily December. Although a lot of those videos, you'll notice that I'm speaking in a more subdued tone. That's to preserve the quality of my voice, and it's also the thing that a lot of the people, the professionals that I saw, suggested. They're like, you're just like forcing a little bit too much energy into your voice. You need to be like more calm when you speak. Otherwise, you're going to continue blowing it out. Yeah, and then, so it was pretty good, and I was not having that many problems recording stuff this year. And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, a couple weeks ago, it came back, and stuff was, stuff got worse. Now, it's not about alcohol making me talk more or talk less, like it's about the quality of the voice and how quickly it degrades. So, I don't think anyone will really have a sense for what I'm going through if you haven't gone through this yourself. Like, it's very hard to describe. It's like, you just like, you can't like yeah, it's hard to describe it. It's like every time I say a word in my like personal life, I'd be like, that's like one word out of the budget for today. Like my word budget today is like 4,000 words. So if I talk to my wife for like 300 words, now I have less words to do on stream and less words to do in my job. And like living that, like honestly, like I'm probably gonna get kind of emotional now, but like it's honestly really rough when like I really love playing Pokemon and just sharing these games with you, and it's like I genuinely just want to like be able to make more videos because it's really fun to make these and try and beat the game with every species. That is so much fun, but I literally cannot do it. Like I could not do it because my voice was just like giving out. So like it's like I could like literally film and produce like behind the scenes, do all of the like pre-production on videos for like 3 or 4 videos a week, maybe more now, because I can go very fast now. We've made so many technological strides in the last couple of years. But still at this point, I can record about 2 voiceovers a week, maybe 3 if I'm lucky, and do a stream. But that's a huge improvement over last year, so hopefully I'll just keep improving, and I'll be able to do more soon. I have not been releasing 1 video a week because I want to release 1 video a week. I have been releasing 1 video a week because my voice has not been healthy enough to do anything else. About like 2 or 3 months into the channel, like after people started showing up and watching stuff, because I had like 6 months where I got like 20 views on every video, and it was like, okay. I don't really count that. But like after people started showing up in that, I remember saying to myself, like, I really want to get to 2 videos a week as soon as I can. Like that's going to be really fun. Then every week I can do a Nuzlocke and I can do a solo challenge. And I was like, I remember like walking and just like doing walks outside at lunchtime with my wife and just going like, oh, I can't wait until I can do a Nuzlocke and a solo challenge every week. That's going to be so fun. I still haven't got there, largely because of my voice. Anyways, yeah, that's been the problem. That's why I've slowed down a little bit recently and why stuff has been kind of off. Anyways, I'm taking it seriously again, trying to get my voice back into a place where I feel like it's doing well. And it has improved a lot, so. All right, Tate and Liza is coming up next. I'm a dark type. Granted, the Claydol has Earthquake and it hits really hard with it. So yeah. Also, Jackie, you said like it's tension in your voice. I think it's tension in my voice too. Like someone made the comment a while ago, and I don't know. This comment like threw me off emotionally a little bit, it was like I can't watch your live streams because you sound so different from your produced videos. It's like, yeah, of course. Like in my produced videos, I'm literally trying to perform so that it's like well paced and it has good like inflection in my tone and stuff like that. But when I'm just talking, I'm usually extremely monotone. Like even now I'm like, there's more energy in my voice than there normally would be. Like normally I'll just talk like really monotone. And that's kind of like a performance thing. Like I come from the performing arts, music, that sort of thing. So I don't know. Every time I speak, it's a performance. Doesn't matter who I'm speaking to. It's just what kind of performance do I want to be? Is it just conveying information? Or is it trying to convey information in some kind of interesting container? Okay, so Absol. I'm going to rare candy 12 times before Tate and Liza, taking it up to level 59. This is just because I don't want to lose to the Earthquake. I know that I'm going to be able to set up and knock out their Pokemon with Return. It's not a problem. I could probably, like... I don't think taunting here makes much sense. It appears that the Xatu just wants to endlessly set up Calm Mind and then Sunny Day at the very end of the fight, and with +4 I'm able to one-shot both of the Rock-type Pokemon, as well as the Claydol, so it's not a problem. But yeah, Jackie was saying like it's like a tension in the throat, that sort of thing. 100%, because when I'm recording the voiceover for videos, I'm trying to be very precise with how I enunciate and how I say every word. And then I start overthinking things. I do retakes on lines, that sort of stuff. And there can be frustration that leaks in, that sort of thing. it's easy to get very tense in that sort of scenario when you're shooting for something to be a very polished product. And I definitely I guess bear down on my voice with my muscles in my neck and that sort of thing, trying to control it, and that definitely burns it out faster. I can talk a lot longer on stream without having any vocal stuff happen than I can when recording videos. I'm working on it. It's a psychological thing. It's hard to break out of that. Again, if you don't have problems with this, you just it won't make any sense to you. But if you have had problems like this in the past, where you're trying to do something and then the act of doing it increases the amount of tension that you experience, and then that tension makes it harder for you to perform the task, it's a really awful, vicious cycle. Okay. This fight is one of the fights in Emerald version that I think is I think it's one of the most surprising fights to me. I never thought it was going to be hard. It seemed pretty easy, plus you get an ally in Steven. That said, it has been problematic for me in the past, mostly because the Mighty Enna uses Swagger. So I think taking a Person Berry into this fight is the safest choice. Also, in this case, the Mighty Enna uses Scary Face on me, which drops my speed, and the Crobats are both very fast. But it ends up not being a problem in this playthrough. Just know that it can be a problem. I don't know, maybe I'll have problems with it later today when I redo this run. I hope not, though. Yeah, Peter, you said your buddy is a touring comedian. Yeah. And that's how it feels. It does feel like that. You're on a word budget. There was literally a time where for a week I did not speak to my wife in private. And I would literally write on my iPad whenever I needed to communicate with her, because I was trying to get my voice back to the place it needed to be so that I could record next week's video. It's ridiculous. So ridiculous. I haven't had to do that in a long time, probably a year, so. I'm happy with where I'm at now. This is really hard. Spamming B and then the dialogue opens, then you close the dialogue, then it opens again. Just little things that bleed time in Emerald. That you don't bleed this time in other ways in earlier generations. Okay, here's something cool. Push this rock, go through this. I did not know that you can use this entranceway to get through and get to the other chamber, but you can. So I learned that from Austin yesterday. That's a good improvement. Because otherwise I'm pushing another rock, and the other tides are a little bit, I think, it's about the same length to navigate, but I think it's harder inputs. That's my initial impression of it. We don't need Earthquake, can't learn it anyways. Person Berry. Person Berry is the best item in this game. It is genuinely the best item in the game. Yeah, my wife's pretty understanding. It is this is my job, so it's there's a point where it's hey, I literally I'm just gonna have to be silent for a bit because I can't do my job if I'm not silent. So it was I don't know, if your job is doing I don't know, if you're on your feet all day and you have a foot problem, it's you have to go home and sit down. You can't walk around the house. You have to rest your feet for tomorrow at the job. That's very much what it felt like. It's okay, I just gotta save my speaking stamina for the job, and I will, yeah. It made developing stuff behind the scenes, working with my video editor, much more challenging, because we couldn't have meetings. Because if I met with him, it would blow out my voice for the day, and then I couldn't record any voiceover. Ah. Oh, also something I didn't mention is drinking water. Being well hydrated is also very helpful. Okay, another frustrating mechanic thing here is how Wallace... This is Wallace? Yeah, this is Wallace. How Wallace speaks to you. If you spam through this, you will just keep... You'll keep answering him wrong, and he just keeps asking you the question. It's very frustrating. Also, flying to cities that are one tile Very frustrating. Exceptional and I did the flying race on stream when we did one of our streams together. We're gonna do another one, by the way. We were talking about it yesterday. I'm not gonna give away all the things, but we're gonna try something new. We're not gonna do it in the same way we did it before. So if you didn't like what we did before, and you didn't like having someone else on the channel, that's fine. Thanks for the feedback, actually, because we have a bunch of new ideas about how we can make it better. Very excited for that. Don't fly. Alright, I guess I can fly in this case. I could go to the Pokemon Center in Sootopolis City and then teleport back, but I can also do this where I fly here and then teleport to Moss Deep City after the gym. For how long do you feel like you have to run a game before you're really comfortable with it? For example, Platinum being new now. The time in which it takes me to feel comfortable with a game is decreasing. Every new game I add, I feel like I am faster at learning the next game. So like, whichever game I learn next, I will learn it faster than I learned Platinum. And I learned Fire Red faster than I learned Emerald. And I definitely learned Emerald faster than I learned Crystal. Because like there's a lot of information about how the playthroughs work that carries over, like basic mechanics for Pokemon, that when I started the channel I was awful at. Like go watch some of my first videos. You'll just see me like I'll be talking about stuff and it'll be like, wow, everything he's saying is wrong. Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. So it took me a lot of time to like learn a bunch of the basics. Then once the basics are accumulated, you like, if I'm adding on games sequentially as they were released in the series, then new mechanics are sequentially being introduced as well. So basically all I have to do is I have to learn the new mechanics that are most recently introduced, and then all of the previous knowledge applies. The only little holes that I need to fill in are the holes about like, oh, Blizzard bypasses accuracy checks during the hail in Generation 4. I don't know if it does in Generation 3. I don't think it does, and I think that's why I got it wrong in Generation 4 when I did my Torterra run. It's because I looked it up for Generation 3 and was like, oh, it doesn't bypass accuracy checks. Okay, that's good. And then in Gen 4 it does, and I got knocked out like 20 times. It's like, it's gonna miss eventually. No, it's not. Yeah, it does not in Generation 3. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Wally. I'm not going to save for him. He's pretty easy. Hidden Power Ground is helpful against the Magneton. We can't even see the Gardevoir here. Sorry, Churro. We're just chilling. Yeah. Go away for a second. I'll bring Churro back up when I start the second playthrough because we need to see all of the screen for the next little bit. What's your favorite game after Yellow? Honestly, this is gonna sound kind of weird. Like, when you think about favorite, like, what does favorite mean? I think we have to dissect that word a little bit. And this is me being maybe slightly too pedantic and detail-oriented, but you're here on my channel watching my stuff. Like, if you sit down to watch a 3-hour video on Electrode versus Magneton, then, like, yeah, you're here. So you're here for this kind of experience. Favorite is, like, a hard word for me because... also, you can go through the top. I didn't know that you can. You can. You can successfully navigate the cave by doing that, and you fight 2 less Pokemon by doing it that way. Just so you know, I'm not going to take that route this time because I don't know how it works. But eventually, I'm going to switch over to that at some point. So, like, there's a whole bunch of things with favorite. There's like, which game do I find the most nostalgic? Obviously, Yellow. Which game do I enjoy playing the most? Like Franco says. It's like, well, which one do I enjoy the most? That's really hard. Honestly, right now, I kind of think I'm enjoying Platinum the most. Maybe with Emerald being in second place. Like, Platinum and Emerald are really what I'm enjoying the most right now. What's the most interesting for me to play? Definitely not Crystal. Crystal is the least interesting. Of all of the generations to solo run, Crystal takes, I think, the least skill and the least strategy. There's a lot of, like, again, like, it's a gradient. It's not like Crystal is completely skillless and completely strategyless. It's just like, I think that, like, the ability to discover interesting things is just not in Crystal at the same level that it is in a game like Pokemon Yellow. Yellow, there's so much depth of strategy where you can like find weird little like twists and turns that will help you out. Whereas with Crystal, that just doesn't exist as much. And a lot of play can like, it can like just boil down to some like really basic elements. Like, okay, just pretty much don't fight optional trainers, use the rare candies at the right point, make sure you have the most powerful attacking move, spam it a lot, then teach Curse for Red. Like that's like a kind of like generalized perspective of how you're going to do pretty well in Crystal. And then you kind of diverge from that, and those divergences from the main path are sometimes interesting. Yeah, I think that I've just been really enjoying Emerald and Platinum because they feel very different and that sort of thing. So let's talk about Sydney. I can taunt the Mightyena so it can't sand attack me, set up with Swords Dance to recover the lost attack from Intimidate and go to +1. With 370 attack at level 63, Sydney is not a problem, so I just sweep the rest of his team with Return. Also, I am feeling so confident here because Hidden Power Ground can hit Ghost-type Pokemon that I do not save for Phoebe, I don't think. Pretty sure I just go into this battle right away and it's like it's gonna be fine. Because the Dusclops that's first is always gonna protect, so I can just set up Swords Dance once and then I can taunt it so that it can't confuse me or use Curse. I take that time to set up one more time, going to +4, 742 attack, and I'll just sweep the rest of the Pokemon. None of these ghosts have Levitate, which is very different when you compare this battle to the Fantina battle in Generation 4, because Fantina's Pokemon have Levitate. I also think like there's another aspect of this like favorite game thing that I do need to unpack, which is which game do I feel the most burnt out on? And like it's 100% Yellow. I've been playing Yellow for a very long time, for like almost 4.5 years? Yeah, like 4 years on the channel at least. So I've been playing Yellow in this format for 4 years. Right now it's like we don't have a lot of Pokemon left in Yellow. We're getting close to the end. Just because of that, it's like, okay, there's another Yellow run. Like, it's another Yellow run. Whereas like Platinum, it feels so fresh. Like I'm still discovering a lot of things, and there's so much ability for me to improve my play. Within Yellow, there's less ability to improve my play, and I think that that also takes a little, like, if I don't feel like I can improve a lot, and I can improve every run I do, then there's a little bit less incentive to me to really, like, dive into the playthrough. Okay, this fight against Drake is very unfortunate. The Shelgon does not always go for Protect on the first turn. Sometimes it will attack. In this case, it went for Rock Tomb and lowered my speed, which is, like, the most annoying thing. I am going to lose this fight and get my second reset here because it went for Rock Tomb, which is just so frustrating. Okay, so Game Hook crashed again. Crashes whenever I reset. Interesting. Interesting. It was not crashing like that yesterday. That is very interesting. Huh. I'm gonna quickly refresh here. Okay, we're going again, but we have another reset. Luckily, I have control over this stuff now. I programmed all that stuff so that I can fix things like this on the go with streams. Anyways, that's how I'm feeling right now, but it's not like I don't enjoy Yellow, I don't enjoy Crystal. Like, I really love playing all of these games. It's like, this is like if you're like, hey, Scott, sit down and play like this new game that just came out, or like, I don't know, go out and hang out with human beings. I'm gonna like rank playing Pokemon Crystal with the most boring normal type above those activities. And if I could clone myself and do the two other activities at the same time, I would still probably pick not cloning myself and just doing Crystal. So we're definitely on a gradient here, and this is like, of the things I enjoy most in the world, Crystal is probably at the lowest part of that list, but like, it's still very high up there in the grand ranking of everything. No problems with Ludicolo. That's very nice. Also, I set up twice on the Wailord. I don't know if that's a little bit greedy. I might only need one turn of setup against the Wailord before I can sweep. I just didn't want to like get intimidated by the Gyarados, then fail to knock the Milotic out and it gets like a freeze or a crit or something like that. I think that would be ridiculous. So I didn't take that much damage from the Wailord. I was like, I'll just try setting up one more time, and it worked out because it likes to use Rain Dance on like the first or second turn. I think if it had first turn Rain Dance, I might have attacked because I wouldn't want to get hit by a rain boosted Water Spout. That would be very scary. Also, Game Hook crashed again, but the timer kept running. Interesting. Why is Game Hook crashing? We made a new build of it, so that's why. But like we don't know what exactly is like causing it to. I have logs. I'll look at those after. Keep going. Okay, so we beat the league. Look at the time. 1 hour, 17 minutes, and 8 seconds. So everyone said under an hour and 45 minutes. I don't know if anyone was expecting quite this. Absol is really good. It's really good. This is the advantage of solo running a game and getting moves like Calm Mind as well as Sword Stance. Now, Calm Mind honestly is something that I haven't considered with this Pokemon. Up until now, also this tile, you can stand here and dodge these guys. I did not know that this existed. I thought you couldn't walk there. So I learned that from Austin yesterday, or a while ago actually. He posted a screenshot of it and I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So now getting the leftovers is a little bit more consistent. But yeah, you could teach Calm Mind. So like, I could go like Calm Mind, go by Flamethrower, and then fight Steven with that. That's a secondary strategy that would be possible here at the end of the game. Now note, I'm keeping Taunt on my set. I think that what Ike the Killer said earlier on in chat is probably the correct approach, which is teaching Substitute now. There are some problems with that, but overall I think that having Substitute on my set is going to be better, and I'm going to explain why in like right as soon as we start fighting Steven. It will become very obvious. Okay, Steven Stone. I didn't pick up any additional rare candies. I look for them here because normally I'll have like 1 or 2 more, but I didn't waste time with them. At this point, I was like, maybe I can get a sub 120 time, which would be the best playthrough I've ever done in Pokemon Emerald. Yeah. So Skarmory, look at how much it does with Steel Wing. That's terrifying. That's a lot of damage, and then there's a secondary problem here, which is if I taunt it, it's going to knock me out quickly. And with +4, I'm not able to knock it out in 2 hits using Return. At +6, I will be able to knock it out with two hits using Return. So I need to be able to 2-hit the Skarmory. So I need +6 with Return, and I'm not going to figure out quickly enough in this playthrough that what I should be doing, instead of running the leftovers, I should be running a Pecha Berry. Because Toxic is brutal. If it Toxics me first turn or second turn while I'm setting up, I just have to reset. And we're going to see a lot of those in very quick succession. Game Hook didn't crash after that reset. Cool. Oh, it did crash. It just crashed now. I don't know why. So weird. Oh. It cannot load on this screen. It cannot load on this screen. Yeah, but Taunt, like I said before, Taunt does not counter Toxic because then it attacks with Steel Wing, and Steel Wing does so much damage. Plus, you'll see here that Steel Wing can also raise its defense, which makes you not 2-hit with Return, so even if you get to +6, then it's not a guaranteed win. So Taunt is really not that good at countering Toxic when you're using Absol. What is the error that we're getting on Game Hook? I think I know what's probably happening. Let me see. Sorry, 1 second. We're gonna put like Churro back on screen or something so you have something to look at. Wait. Go here. Watch this. No. This is production value. I'm just saying. This is like true production value right here. Yeah, buddy. Okay. Oh, yeah. I know what I did wrong. So I patched something earlier today, which messed stuff up. We're going to do a little bit of live debugging here for a moment. Apologies. This might actually be interesting for some of you if you haven't seen how we like grab the stuff in real time from the game. Wait. Yeah. All right. Make this a size that you can see everything on, and then I will switch to it. Can kind of see everything now. Okay. Sorry, Churro's gonna go away for a moment. I apologize while we debug. Okay. So this is the mappers that we use for actually wait. Sorry. True production value. True production value never leaves the cat out. It's like let's like yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is way better. Okay. I think everyone will agree that this is the perfect compromise. Okay, so this is how we look stuff up from the memory of the game. We have a thing that defines where the thing is located, what its address is, and what its property name should be, and then we retrieve that data and we send it on an API and then use the API to connect to it and make decisions about what graphics should be shown, that sort of thing. So it's pretty simple, like in terms of like idea of how this works, but there's a lot of like tricky stuff in here that we've had to figure out as we go. Another section of this is like we figured out in Pokemon Platinum that all of the addresses where data is stored in RAM is constantly changing. I believe it uses a heap allocation, so it basically just like allocates space as it needs it, stacking stuff on, and then it clears that eventually, or like removes stuff it doesn't need, and the heap gets smaller, and the locations of things change slightly, and it's always by like a small amount. It's really annoying. So we realized that we couldn't just like in Emerald there are some things that were just like it's at this spot, like the items menu. We can tell that like the items menu is doing something at this location, it'll have a certain value. Or like, what about like the battle sprites? So like we have the sprite tiles here that we can look at and determine things with. Like when the enemy Pokemon has fainted, we will know because these sprite tiles will be set to certain values. Pretty simple. These booleans will be flipped to true whenever we defeat these trainers. Simple. These are options. Their value will be set to something. They're at a location like this. Like simple stuff. But then in Pokemon Platinum, everything is at a dynamic address. So we assigned dynamic addresses within the address field with these little like mustache brackets. See, my voice is going now. You can tell it a little bit. Mustache brackets mean like this is a thing that will be evaluated later. So we pass a variable into this and say, hey, look at this location. It'll tell you where that address is. And then we add 28 to that and we find the data that we need. So after that, there needs to be this thing, which is like a preprocessor. It's a JavaScript file that accompanies this mapper and it runs every loop. So every time we decode the data in GameHook, it's done with this preprocessor. So the preprocessor runs and then like decodes all the things. But before that happens, we run all of these functions. So we assign values to all of these. I think that's where we're running into problems, because what I'm doing is I'm assigning these variables to, they're like address pointers, like go to this location in the RAM, look for this thing, and then return it back to me. But these are the pointer values, and when I reset the game, these are going to be set to 0. So then this will get set to 0, and then it will pass 0 into this address space for a whole bunch of these properties. The issue with that is that we don't have access to the full memory of the game, because if we did, it would really slow down performance. So we have intentionally truncated off portions of the memory that we are not requesting to get out. Because of that, it speeds things up, makes us much more performant so that we can do this stuff in real time and make it look good. But the downside is that if we try and pull something from a memory domain that does not exist, it'll just be like, hey, that doesn't exist. What are you doing? And then GameHook crashes. So I think that this is our problem. So I think I need to just look at these and just like do an if statement. Like if any of them are like if, and then we can just like assign like a default value to these that's just something. Like I don't know like what we would assign to it because pretty much the whole memory is going to get wiped, I think, to 0. Or maybe just do nothing. We can just return out of this function. I don't know if that'll break it. Oh, we got second cat. This is the foster cat. Oh, is she gonna whack him? She might whack him. Oh, no way. No. The cutest thing is happening. Oh my gosh, they're friends now. Okay, well, so this stream was a success. This stream was a success. No matter what happens from here on out, we've already won. That's that. Okay, so I think I'll just check these. So like I'll go like this. Or I can check it after, actually. I can probably just assign it first and then check it after. Go like, if this oh, I should probably, this is probably going to crash if I do that. If that equals 0, or, and then we'll just do that. Yeah, return. No. Assign these something, I think. I have a solution for this in Platinum, which I might want to look up. Because Platinum, so Giratina, hilariously, in Pokemon Platinum, in the intro screen, when the intro plays for Pokemon Platinum, when Giratina shows up on screen, one of the values of the pointers jumps to a really ridiculously high value. When that happens, it caused crashes, which is hilarious. So like the devil Pokemon shows up and then like all the software used to just crash. We were like, what's happening? And then we had to write like a little implementation around that so that things stopped crashing whenever you reset and Giratina showed up. Very fun. I've learned all these fun things by trying to make my stats show on screen, which is just like, life is so absurd. Where is it? Give me a second. I gotta open the Platinum mapper. Also, this is like the most painful cliffhanger because we're very close to the end of the game. I apologize. This is not going as I intended. Okay, Pokemon Platinum, here we go. So this is how we run Platinum. There's a whole bunch of stuff here with like decryption of memory, that kind of stuff. Like this is the decryption algorithm that I wrote. And then Weil helped me solve the one, what was the one thing? This thing. I needed this function. Without this, it fails. With that, it succeeds. Just this, because JavaScript is really bad at doing large numbers. So you need this function. See? Number and big int are required, so JavaScript stores the PRNG seed as an accurate value. It is very large, because this is a recursive function. Anyways. Okay, how do I, like, terminate this? If base pointer equals 0, variables global pointer equals null, return. I just don't assign things. Just like, nah, we don't need anything. It's just like, we're not going to run any more of the preprocessor. We're just going to like return out of here if the base pointer is equal to 0. We assign the base pointer, then we just check that, then we end the logic. It might work. We can try it. Let's see. I'm scared that we're gonna break something if we do that. We can just check if the first DMA. We can actually assign it, then we can just check it. Let's do it like we do it in Platinum. Don't judge my coding. I don't know how to do this. I'm not a programmer. I learned all of this just so that I can make Pokemon videos for you. I have no training. If base pointer equals 0. No, that's assignment. That is not comparison. That's comparison. If return. Does it load? It does. Haha! Yay! We did it. Everything's broken visually right now, as you will see when we switch back to the game, but it does successfully load, so I doubt it's going to just discontinue at any point in the future now. Yay, so this code is all we needed to stop that bug. Fun. Okay. Here we go. See? Everything's broken. Look at that. We got zeros down there, all that stuff, but that's because this data hasn't been populated yet, so I think once I resume the game, everything should correct, and I believe I have 3 resets now. I'll confirm all that with the video footage I took from last night. Actually, that I re-recorded the entire playthrough from last night this morning to confirm that we wouldn't have problems. Also, MM46, thank you for the gifted memberships. I remember that you asked about the Hidden Power Ground, so I am going to answer your question as soon as we finish this playthrough about Hidden Power Ground. I promise. Okay, see? Yeah, the stats come back, everything's good. Haha. I'll have to write a test case there, or like an exception there so that we see base stats instead. Take away the cat cam for a second. Apologies to everyone. I know, I ruined the stream. So you can see here, did we crash? Did we crash? I don't think we crashed. Seems to be good. We didn't get a reset though. It's a little concerning. Just slightly concerning. But we got to reset that time. That's cool. I think I reset too soon after the last one. It didn't have time to like store the stuff it needed to. Okay, so we're obviously having problems with Skarmory. At this point in the run, I was like, well, like I could go out, get a Pecha Berry, fix the problem. I could go out and get Substitute, but I'm not going to do that. This is just a trial attempt to get some data so that we can play around with numbers, that sort of thing. By this point, I had messed up enough. It doesn't make sense to like go back. I'm just going to keep trying to fight Steven and see when I beat him. This is generally how I play second playthroughs. If I mess up my strategy too much, I will just keep trying until I win. In a first playthrough, I require myself to complete the run no matter what. In a second run, I don't. So if this was a first playthrough, I would have backtracked like 3 or 4 resets ago. I just would have been like, oh, I don't have what I need. I'll go get it. But in a second run, I'm like shooting for the best possible time, and I know that I can do it with this strategy because Austin used this strategy. So he had a Pecha Berry though. I forgot the Pecha Berry trying to save time early on. Do you watch your own videos? Like go back and see what you did? Yeah, sometimes. Usually though, all the data that I collect is, I just go through the data. So like I'll show like the router on screen after this, and we'll look through some of the data. Usually I just look through the root file, examine damage ranges, stuff like that. That sort of thing. If the Skarmory does damage to you, I crit here, which I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. No. If it takes you to low health, you're probably gonna lose. But I don't know, maybe I win this one. I think it's looking pretty good. As long as I can knock out the Cradley and the Metagross. Okay? But normally when it takes you to low health, it's just like, oh, it's pretty much over. But in this case, with Hidden Power Ground, I'm able to knock out the Metagross at +6 and clock in with a time of 1 hour, 22 minutes and 23 seconds. That's what it clocked in at this time. Yesterday, when I played it live, it got a slightly different time. So I'm going to pull that up now because we had some problems with desyncing from the timer because the timer is not synced to the actual game. But hilariously, even with all the desyncing, my time last night was 1 hour, 22 minutes and 22 seconds. Literally 1 second off the time that we got this time. So it's close enough. This is, yes, last night, the time I got, 12 seconds slower than Mewtwo. So, also, fun little piece of software we developed for the channel. I will show you now. Here, in this software, hopefully you can see my clicker. Yeah, see? So this is a software. This is not just a graphic now. Watch this. Oh! We can click on Pokemon and see their metrics. So we can go back and go like, how bad did Butterfree really do? 5 hours and 8 minutes and 38 seconds. That was my first Emerald playthrough in this format. I had 30 resets. What about Metacham on the other end of the tier list? 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 27 seconds. This is my first attempts, though. But we don't want first attempts, do we? We want... Also, you can see there that I filtered out Spinda. Because you don't get to know Spinda's results just yet. Coming soon. So here, in the category, I can go to best attempt, and then press enter, and ta-da! We now have the best attempt results, and we can select them, and they will show what times those Pokemon currently got. So in this case, Mewtwo got a time of 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 10 seconds, which is 12 seconds faster than Absol's current time. So Absol will get the second spot in the list. Pretty awesome. Also, just in case we want to get really cool about this, we can also filter by different metrics. So let's filter instead by game time. There, now we have filtered the results by game time. I have to work on these. I haven't made this ready for the video yet because I don't know what ranges I should be putting on this side of the screen, essentially, for second playthroughs. This game time, those ranges, they're set up specifically for the first attempts because we always use the game time in first attempts. So you can see here if I switch to first attempts that the game times, it makes the tier list look a lot better to have these game times. But for second attempts, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'll have to refine these numbers in the future. Anyways, yeah, some improvements with a tier list. There's also the ability to just export these all as PNGs. So whenever we want to make a graphic for the video, we can just export directly from this software and then drag and drop it onto the Premiere Pro timeline, making things faster and easier for all of us. And hopefully this is going to prevent us from accidentally spoiling Pokemon's results in the future, trying to manage like 700 gigabytes of tier list graphics in Photoshop. Oh. It's not that much, but it was like a ridiculous amount. It was like each graphic was like 350 megabytes, and we'd make like 3 every video. So it was ridiculous how much space we were taking up on disk just building these graphics. So right now, we're gonna switch over to second best attempt tier list. We're gonna switch back to real time. And so right now, I think that doing the second playthrough with Absol today, I think I'm going to be able to beat Mewtwo's time, and Absol will be the top-ranked Pokemon in Emerald to this point. I think if I don't beat it, I'm going to be real disappointed. Yeah. Whew. Okay. Let's talk about the router, because the router now works. Or the router, sorry, router. Gotta like change this so that we... No, that's not good. There we go. We don't want to actually green screen stuff. I just want to change the opacity so you can see what's behind it a little bit. I think it makes things look better. Okay, so this is the router. This is one of the first times that we have had this piece of technology working for Emerald. There was a couple errors when recording, so I'm just going to turn off the errors because it already calculated those trainers into the results. This was when we had the first desync happen. It wasn't the router's fault. It was 100% the gamehook code that I wrote earlier today. Is date recorded a number tracked? Yeah, it is now. And we, yeah, 7 days. We have thought about that feature. It's not ready yet. The feature that we thought of is we're gonna like do versioning on the tier lists where we can like do releases and then like you can jump back to snapshots in the tier list, how it was when like I released the Spinda video, how it was when I released the Absol video. And so we can go back and kind of get like a historical reconstruction of snapshots throughout the tier list progress. Almost like an input replay file, but for tier lists. But again, not ready yet. Like we're trying to do all these things. It's a lot. I'm just glad we're able to do some stuff and still release videos with like so little time. Okay, let's talk about this is for MM46. Let's talk about Hidden Power. Hidden Power Ground against Steven's team. So I'm going to set up with Swords Dance. I will apply Swords Dance 3 times so that we can see damage ranges with +6. I have a 99% chance to 2-hit the Skarmory with +6 and return. Okay? Hidden Power Ground, 93.8% chance to knock out the Armaldo in 1 hit. 100% on Aggron. It's going to 2-hit the Cradily, and then 1-hit the Metagross. Return will 1-hit the Claydol. Okay, so pretty much everything. But we got 4 1-hits, 2 hits. We have, I would be running the Pecha Berry in this, like last time, in the last playthrough I would have run Pecha Berry, but I think we can also run Substitute. I think, so like, if the Skarmory sets up with spikes or uses Toxic, Substitute gives us a free turn. Then if it attacks, we take less damage from Steel Wing, because Steel Wing does 33 to 39%. If I'm not poisoned, the Skarmory will keep trying to use Toxic. Sometimes the AI, like the AI has no idea you have a substitute in place. So it could spam Toxic 4 times in a row, I get set up for free and knock it out. I could still have a substitute by the time I knock it out. So yeah, I was wondering, wouldn't Hidden Power Fighting be better for you? That was my initial thought. When I saw Austin's final screenshot, which he got like a 1 hour and 14 minute time, by the way. So ridiculously good. Again, I was like, how is that possible? It's possible. So when I saw his screenshot, he was using Hidden Power Ground, and my first thought was like, just use Hidden Power Fighting. Here's the problem. So I have to just change my DVs a little bit. We go down from 30 defense, go down to 30 defense and 30 speed from 31 in both of those. Special attack and special defense were already 30 from Hidden Power Ground. So this is what happens when we change to Hidden Power Fighting. We get a 2-hit on the Skarmory, same damage range against the Armaldo, same damage range against the Claydol, same damage range against the Aggron, a 1-hit on the Cradily, but a 2-hit on the Metagross, and the Metagross hits with Earthquake for 55 to 65% damage. So the previous strat is riskier at the beginning of the fight. This strategy is riskier later into the fight. Now, there is a potential way to play around this, which is we could potentially, because remember how I said a long time ago, yeah, look at Meteor Mash too. Yeah, Meteor Mash is like brutal, 83 to 98% damage, like terrifying. But if we're going to 2-hit the Metagross and we have Substitute, we can survive 1 hit regardless of what he throws at us. So I have another thought here, which is, what if we get Substitute, we set up on the Skarmory, then we knock the Skarmory out in 2 hits. So that takes it potentially can take less time too, because I think we can 2-hit with just, yeah. So we 2-hit the Skarmory with only +2 on Swords Dance. So we could potentially set up another Swords Dance later on. Remember when I said pressure is not that useful? What if we set up on the the Claydol? Like, the Claydol doesn't do very much damage. Earthquake is like pretty good, I'll admit, but like it also likes to set up with Reflect and Light Screen, and I think it might be going for those moves. So we could potentially reset up our substitute here on the Claydol, and then knock the Metagross out with 2 hits. Because we 1-hit the Claydol, as long as it doesn't have a Reflect in place. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure. Oh, sorry, the Armaldo is a 2-hit. Before it's not. With Ground, it's not. You have a chance to 1-hit it. So, I think like what ends up happening is like you make the Armaldo a little bit harder and you make the Metagross a little bit harder, but you make the Skarmory easier with Hidden Power Fighting, and you make the Cradily easier. The other potential is not set up on the Claydol. I'm actually rethinking that. Knock the Claydol out, knock the Aggron out, and then set up on the Cradily. Because look at how much damage the Cradily does. Not very much. Like about a third and about a third with both of its moves. Both of its moves have very little PP, so it's only going to attack 5 times. We're going to put like Substitute in the place of Taunt. But we need to keep Return if we want to one-shot the Claydol, which is really annoying. We could also experiment with running Shadow Ball for this fight and just knocking all of his Pokemon out with Shadow Ball because it hits them all. Let's see. Who knows, right? This is the thing, I like testing all these things because I just want to see like what happens. Just add the Shadow Ball in. It's going to complain at us because it says you don't have the TM, but like that's fine. Shadow Ball. Okay, so Shadow Ball with +2 is 1-hitting. Shadow Ball is real bad against the Skarmory. Knock out the Claydol. Shadow Ball is not as good. So don't use Shadow Ball. Or Maldo is because you had 3. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Like, I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm gonna make a poll and see what all of you think. Okay? Hidden power. Type. Yeah, there is a totally different strategy here. I'm curious what hidden power everyone will think, but like we could potentially use flamethrower and calm mind, because while Absol doesn't have particularly good special, Steven's Pokemon are not fast and they don't have great special stats, some of them at least. So special defense, that is. So there's the potential to use like a flamethrower strat here. Let's just try it. So we're gonna use flamethrower, calm mind. An advantage here with this is that we can teach, like, we just get rid of Swords Dance, and we can also teach Substitute, and we'll only need really one attacking move, because the Aggron's, like, sort of trash. Okay, so now, Flamethrower is obviously not as good if we have... Flamethrower is better against the Skarmory and the Metagross by default than Hidden Power Fighting. That's encouraging. You do have to remember that Calm Mind is going to set up slower than Swords Dance. So we're only going to get like 2 or 3 turns of setup. And if that doesn't like dramatically improve results, then it's not good. Not better. It's not better. You see? We just don't get the damage ranges we need fast enough from Calm Mind. Yeah, the special set's just going to be... The special set is going to be slower overall, though. That's the thing. Hey, Sam. I really appreciate your comment. Thanks so much. When people say that I've become one of their favorite YouTubers and something like that, that's like a really, really high praise to me. I think there's a lot of people out there... who make really good stuff, so I really appreciate when people are... like my stuff. I'm just gonna hack in Fire Blast, because there was a question about that. With Fire Blast, no, it's still not great. We get a lot of 70s, and that's 3 turns of Calm Mind. Like, we can knock the Skarmory out pretty quick with this, but the fight just gets sketchier and sketchier. Yeah, Flamethrower takes time to pick up. Fire Blast takes time to pick up. I have to teach Calm Mind. Like, all of these things bleed time. Whereas if we just keep running the same set, then we don't have to bleed any more time doing move things. We just, like, go right into the final battle, and then we're just like, okay, we gotta fight Skarmory. I think what I'm, like, wondering... I think the way that we could make this much more consistent is just have Rest. If we had Rest... or if we run... maybe run Leftovers. Because we could potentially... If we're running Substitute, we can run Leftovers for the Skarmory. Because the only reason I couldn't really run Leftovers last time like I did because I had to, but... Theoretically, I shouldn't have run Leftovers because I wanted to be able to deflect Toxic at least once. I'm going to switch my Hidden Power back to Ground. I think Ground is better, but let's see what you're thinking. Yeah, Ground, 67%. Come on, can we get 2 more percent? Hidden Power Ground. 2-shot the Skarmory. 1-shot the Claydol. Taunt is useless, so Taunt becomes Substitute. One reason to potentially use Hidden Power Fighting, let's just look at it again, is because you can get Rest. So then we 2-hit the Skarmory. We just like 2-hit the Claydol, which is annoying, so it's going to attack us. If the Claydol attacks us, it does 40%. We gain back some health. knock out the Aggron. On the Cradily, we can like substitute to deflect its attack. Where we have pressure, so we're going to drain its PP really fast. Oh, we have to 2-hit the Metagross, so we have to have a substitute in place. So it could go for Ingrain or Confuse Ray, which would give us a free substitute setup on it. That would be another reason to use Hidden Power Fighting. Yeah, you'd need something for Phoebe if you go Hidden Power Fighting. That's a good choice. How much time does Pecha waste? Like, almost none. I was just trying to be, like, really efficient. Like, there's, like, you walk by, like, a bunch of them in the whole playthrough. It literally takes 2 seconds. But I was like, no, I don't need it. Like, I'll just skip it. Like, it's fine. And I was not, like, anticipating that Toxic would end up being the problem. Also, I'm going to this fight at level 66. It's worth noting that Austin beat him at level 70. Which, level 70, like, going up 4 more levels will dramatically change these ranges. Or change them a little bit, I guess. At this point, we're kind of splitting hairs. You got a pretty good chance once you set up on the Skarmory. It's really like, what's the best way to get 3 turns of setup in with Sword Stance? That's really like the question. Like, how do we do that most efficiently? If we can do that, I think we're successful. I think if we run Substitute, I think we will be successful. I think I should run Substitute earlier. I think I should run Substitutes when I get to Lilycove City. I think I should go into the department store right away and just get Substitute in the place of Taunt. Because Taunt isn't that useful. Like, every place where Taunt stops the AI from hitting you with things like Sand Attack, you can just Substitute and it does the same thing. And Substitute is more reliable and has longer benefits into the fight, whereas Taunt only has benefits at the beginning of the fight. Try 68, okay. 68. Yeah, 68's pretty good. What do we lose? We lose damage range on the Armaldo, just slightly. So like 68 helps us a tiny bit on the Armaldo. See, it doesn't change for 67, but then it changes for 68 over the damage rounding threshold. Yeah, that adds in a final rival battle, but that's okay. We're going to save a ton of time. It takes a lot of time to get Shadow Ball. We don't want to get Shadow Ball. We just want to avoid that, I think. I do think I'm going to replay with Hidden Power Ground. Also 69%. We got to end the poll now. Don't change it. Perfect. If you're worried about the poll not rounding to 100% or not equaling 100%, it's because it rounds. Okay. I think Hidden Power Ground again with Substitute, Leftovers, and then go. Yeah, math floor moment. That's right. That's right. Okay. Are we ready for another Emerald playthrough? Let's do it. There is double cat, by the way. Just saying. Second cat's over there. I just gotta get things set up. I'm gonna take a small break for my voice and then I'll be right back. Okay, I forgot something. Sorry. 1 second. We have to go back to Brock. Someone said Brock. Or Rock, not Brock. The rock person, Roxanne. Let's check without bite. So I'll just do it at level 21 and we'll see what happens. Like quick attack is going to 5 hit the Geodudes. And they do between 11 and 14% damage with each hit. And then quick attack is going to 7 hit the nose pass consistently. I think we train for bite. I think we train for bite. This does not look like good vibes. Like I can taunt, but like I don't want them to attack. And if they do defense curl, then it's going to take even longer. Yeah, I just don't, like, we have a lot of attack, but our normal moves are such trash. Like, if Absol got something like Slash early on, like, I would definitely go for something like that. I would try Roxanne and, like, test it out, but I just don't think, like, there's enough, like, we don't have enough room to wiggle with quick attack. Oh, will Hidden Power Ground help with Flannery? Let's just look at the ranges there, yeah. Good idea. I want to check quick attack on Wattson and just like make sure I don't over set up. Okay, yeah, I need 3 for the 2 hit on the Magneton. But we do want to set up 3 on him. I actually might check the damage ranges against Brawly, because if I can do him earlier on, I will. Let's just move that. We'll move him way up and just see what happens if we fight him earlier. I'll put him back after. Brawly here. How long till I get 1 hits on his Pokemon? 2 Swords Dance? The Machop does the that's low kick. Low kick is not calculating correctly. But like if we assume like 35% damage with Karate Chop, it does that twice. I get 2 turns set up and then I sweep. If it sets up 1 bulk up, what happens? Do I still get the 2 hit? I have a 70% chance. Oh yeah, Swords Dance is at 26, you're right. So this is not a good strat. Fight Brawly later. I think that makes more sense anyways. Okay, Flannery. Secret Power. This is with no Swords Dances, by the way. It's Dilvon hits her first 2 Pokemon. Okay, with 1 Swords Dance. We need 3, and then we get an 88% chance on the Torkoal. So yeah, Hidden Power Ground is going to help here. Okay, so if I go around the other way, grab the HM for Strength, I can teleport back to Maulville City, go south, then teleport back to Maulville City again. That route is unchanged from how I did it before, but we're picking up Hidden Power Ground first, because then we go north to the Gondola and face Maxie. So Hidden Power Ground here makes no difference, and we might as well just run it for this battle, which is, it's gonna help. Cancel recording. I'm not trying to record right now. We'll look at the damage, just to get a sense. Yeah, okay, so it just destroys her team. We only need 1 Swords Dance then. Swords Dance, sweep with Hidden Power Ground. Simple. You could set your teleport to Slateport. Yes. Correct. Gondola? I'm not sure what it is. I'm not gonna be the... Yeah, Slateport, teleport makes more sense. We'll just, like, I didn't really use a lot of my PP restoring items because Absol doesn't have a ton of PP problems. It's, this dog can last, apparently. But just because of that, I don't think I'm going to have issues going to Flannery. Plus, when I teleport back, I'll get hidden power, and then I have even more. I don't think I'm going to have problems. I'm not fighting a lot of optional trainers either. So I think that makes more sense. Then Brawly's simple. Norman. Norman's not great. We're always going to 2-hit the slacking. 1. Beyond 2 Swords Dances, you're not getting much benefit, so I think it only makes sense to go for 2. Probably 1 on the Spinda, then 1 first turn against the slacking, then knock it out with 2 hits. It can't do enough damage to knock you out unless it crits, so the only way he wins is if he crits. 100%, 101% range there, that's a little annoying. Knock out Vigoroth, knock out Linoon, that's easy. Brendan's not a problem. Winona shouldn't be an issue. I won't have that annoying reset in here. By the way, I talked yesterday with Austin about the Parish song on this Swablu, but you can just taunt it. Taunt, Swords Dance, taunt, Swords Dance, taunt, Swords Dance, I guess. To make sure it... No, that doesn't make any sense. Taunt, Swords Dance. Taunt, Swords Dance. Then you 2-hit the Skarmory, but we don't want to go beyond that. Going beyond that is just going to make, like, it's excess setup for, so 2 for Winona. I need to make a notepad document. Whenever I run a Pokemon that has Swords Dance or a move like this, I like to write down like a little list of trainers and like how many Swords Dances I use against them. So Wattson is 3, and then Flannery is 1. We should check Maxie too. Because I don't want to over set up for people. That'll just bleed time when we don't need to. So 1 Swords Dance for Maxie. I think. Yeah, it reduces the... Yeah, 1 Swords Dance for Maxie. Winona is 2. I think Brawly is none. I'm just going to confirm that, but like, we're going back to him later. Yeah, obviously none. We just sweep his team. Can even do it with hidden power. Yay. Brendan. I think with Brendan it makes sense to like taunt Swords Dance, knock out the Pelipper for safety so that it doesn't supersonic. I think that's going to make most sense. Then Winona, 2 Swords Dances. We'll do that, teleport back. Next Maxie fight. Probably only 1 needed, yeah. That actually doesn't factor in the Intimidate. So I'll probably have to do 2 there. Gonna write it down as 2 or I'll forget. We can just taunt. Ha! I didn't call it out when we were watching it, but watch for Matt in this second playthrough and what happens when you taunt his Mightyena. I'm not gonna taunt it, but like, it has no damaging moves, so it literally just struggles. It's hilarious. I didn't actually know that it had no damaging moves. Fuck. This is Tate and Liza. Okay, only 2 Swords Dances needed for Tate and Liza. And I think it's just 1 for Juan. Why is Juan not highlighted? That's kind of funny, actually. We should just leave it like that. Oh my god, without even Swords Dances, his team is pretty easy. But with 1 Swords Dance, yeah, okay. Sydney, probably 1. Yup. Phoebe, 2. So the taunt on the first Dusclops did help last time. I could probably run one there and just chance the wall rain. I think I want a white herb for Drake, but to avoid the rock tomb reset. It takes time to go and get the white herb though. One for Wallace. Only one for Wallace. So I overset up there. One for Wallace. Easy. Actually, what are my ranges without one? Not good. One for Wallace, I think. What's my damage range on the Melodic? If I get hit by an Intimidate, let's see. My mouse is like glitching out. Oh, a bunch of cat hair in the like sensor. No, that would do it. Thanks, Churro. Wow, it works so well now. I'll take away the Swords Dance. We will add Sharpen and see what that does. Yeah, I don't have a good chance on the Milotic, so maybe it does make sense to set up twice on walls if possible. There are two fights where I need to set up all. Wattson and Steven. Interesting. I can save candies, Justin, but like I actually experimented with that earlier today, so that's information you don't have. I experimented with not using the candies before Tate and Liza, taking them out and then going in. My damage ranges are not very good in that case. I need to just get set up all the way. I have a chance to miss the damage range on the Soul Rock, and the Clay Doll, when it's hitting me, is doing a lot of damage. Like 30% every turn. So I feel like the candies just make that fight a little bit safer, and like we don't have an awful late game against Steven. Like if I can get like 2 more levels for him, like great, but like I don't think that's great. I don't think it's like, yeah, sure, but like we're not gonna, it's medium slow. It's gonna level up really fast in the early game. By the time we get later in the game, just use the rare candies. When we're encountering a fight that's a little bit harder, then win. I clicked Sharpen instead of Swords Dance so that I could go up by 1 stage to see what would happen if it intimidated me, and I lost 1 stage of attack on the Milotic. Okay, I think that's good enough. Let's do this. I'm ready. Load route. Oh, we gotta open a new route. 1 second. I'm gonna record this one. I like to record all the routes I do just so that if I need to go back and look at stuff or we want to play around with the numbers after, we can. I think that's more interesting for me, and I think more interesting for you as well. I'm also going to record an input replay for the 2nd time ever of this Absol run. Okay. Oh, wait, sorry. I apologize. We have to... It's too cute. It's too cute. Oh my gosh. Cat cam is broken. Ah, Churro. Well done, my little man. I have no control over that, so I'm going to turn it off for this playthrough, I think. He's just chilling there. I'll turn it on if he does something really cute. I'll pause. I promise. Okay, here we go. Pokemon Emerald with only Absol. This is my 3rd attempt with it. I'm hoping to get a time under 1 hour and 20 minutes and set a personal best in Pokemon Emerald. Let's see if I can do it. I will talk less and less succinctly during this 2nd run because I'm having to think about what I'm doing while I'm playing. Hopefully that's understandable. This is live after all. I do need to like have a commentator here that just explains what I'm doing so that it's more interesting. It's really hard to play and commentate at the same time. I've learned this over the last month or so. I know which Emerald Pokemon is going to beat Pokemon Crystal's best time, but I'm not going to say it yet. Maybe we'll get there this year, maybe. If lucky. I didn't aim at anything, that's fine. Oh. It's unreal how much harder it is to do things when you have to commentate it. Yes, seriously. I think it, like, when you watch a really good streamer, and I do not believe that I am a really good streamer, but when you watch a really good streamer, they make it look so easy to say insightful, funny, and witty things while doing something else. And you watch someone like me and you're like, wait, this guy, like, he just needs to, like, talk about more things or, like, say more intelligent stuff. Like, yeah, challenging. I'm working on it, though. Practicing. One stream a week this year. We're practicing, and then we're going to get better, and next year it's just, like, the content's hopefully just going to keep getting better. Also, Calvin, he is the anti-psychic type early game trainer. Destroys all psychic types. Ridiculous. Oh my gosh, yeah. Starker 2 said his MMR's 700 points. I believe that, yeah. I remember looking through data of a player. Her name was Livy B. I was just like looking through data, and it was like on stream and then like off stream, and it was just like the win rate was so much higher off stream. Like, you could literally tell just looking at, like, the wins and losses in, like, a ladder sheet. Like, when she was streaming and when she wasn't streaming. Kind of wild. One day this is going to show up shiny. I'm going to be really sad. One day. Scott. This is the Scott in the game. I'm fighting all the early game trainers because I know that I need to fight Roxanne, so I just need experience. And I'm not getting repels. Normally I get repels, but I don't get repels here because I just want to fight everything I've come across. Yep. There are the Pecha berries, by the way. These were kind of helpful last time. You'll have to start over if you get shiny rolls due to the time loss. Yeah, only if it's in like a follow-up playthrough. If it's in a first playthrough, then I'll just take it. That's fine. Like, yeah. To be fair, I couldn't really commentate a video in post either until I had done this a lot. I think for me, it felt like it took somewhere between 2 to 3 years of experience before I felt like I have something that I can say most of the time when I'm watching a game. We're getting kind of sketchy on PP here. I don't like it. But we just have to get to 13 to get quick attack, and we don't have to backtrack. Yeah. No. Please! Okay. Do we knock something out and just... I think we do. I think we're gonna make it. We are. Ta-da. Why I didn't heal earlier. These are a little scary with Leech Life, as you just saw right there. I think that was a crit. It did a lot of damage. Okay. I got Oran Berries. Yeah. So much healing. I got these other ones while I'm here. I'm also gonna talk to this person, because then we'll get the white herb later on. I know, there's an ether just ahead, yeah. But you have to be able to get through the Ninkata guy. I was worried about the Ninkata guy. I think you... Wait, is he a spinner? I think I can just walk by him, though, so it probably would have been fine. I will heal while I'm here. He's skippable, he has anxiety, yeah. Yeah, if you didn't know, all the spinners in the game they always face away from me unless they're predictable, like this guy. The reason is I want things to be fair for comparison, so it's not really fair if like one Pokemon's playing the game and I run into like 8 spinners and then the other one runs into 2 spinners, and that is a big offset for the time. So just make trainers' choices. I don't think this is the best way to play, it's just how I have most enjoyment playing this way. Oh, that's annoying. I got quick attack though, so no problem. We also have cherry berries. Maybe I should have taunted it. No, we're fine. No, the Mount Pyre spinners, they're predictable, so I do have to dodge them with skill. I have to actually like use my skill against trainers that are predictable. The spinners that are predictable. Yeah, it is only 2 turns. Oh. Darn. I'll fight the Machop guy when I have full health, so I'm going to go back to town after. I'll just fight Pokemon here for now. Yeah, bullet points can like really help. I think they're very, very helpful. That's how I started going scriptless for my videos. I went to like bullet points instead of an actual script. Okay, taunt. Can't teleport. Then I get a Pokeball in. It can't teleport. Then I get to taunt it again. Can't teleport. Then I get a Great Ball in. Can't teleport. And I catch it. Yeah, we're going to 21. Definitely not getting Razor Wind. What a trash move. Now the Abras are just an advantage. Just knock them out quickly. The opponent's names are determined. The opponent's IVs are determined by their names. The natures are determined by their names in Generation 3. And they use Terry to determine the rival. Yeah. My initial, like, the reason I actually moved away from writing scripts was that, like, my dad said something to me, which is, he said, like, people, like, go to YouTube to watch YouTube because they want to, like, hear something that feels real. Like, you turn on Netflix if you want, like, some canned, really produced thing that you can, like, go like, oh, a lot of production value went into this. They really, like, overwrote it and, like, made sure that, like, everything is working well. We can argue about today's media landscape, but... I think people come to YouTube because it's like, oh, I like want to just like, and I agree. Like I thought about it a lot. I'm like, yeah, I think so. Like when I watch someone, I'm not like necessarily there for like the most polished thing. The people that I really like are the people that I'm just like, oh yeah, I think if I like met up with this person and chatted about the subject matter, it would be like a really great fun time. It's like, oh, maybe I should stop making my stuff so forced. It's like a... there's going to be a lot of time it's going to take a lot of time to get to where I want to be. It's hard to, like, not try to overproduce things. Also, this is another advantage Absol has. Like, its PP just goes for days. Like, you seen this? I never have to go back to the town. Other Pokemon, they have like 10 PP. They're just constantly going back to town to heal, wasting so much time. You get like a 25, like Ninjask. You get like a 25-minute Roxanne split. It's also the erratic growth rate. But like with this, I just like one-hit everything because I have a ridiculous attack stat. I never have to go back to town. And then when I do, I have had the time to catch with Taunt. It's easy to catch the Abra. It's consistent. Then I can just teleport back. Saves so much time. Oh, no. Whismer. You do a good job making your videos seem easy. Yeah, okay, well, I'm glad. That does seem to be the case. Like with, I always notice this with musicians. The best people in the world playing their instrument, they all make it seem like they're not trying. Like it's just like so simple and natural, and they just like sit down and they just do it, and it's like, oh yeah, of course, like they hear like violin sonata or whatever, and then the piano player's like, oh yeah, I know that one, of course, and they just like play it, and it's like, oh gosh, this is been put to shame. Here I am struggling. That's internal code. It's not for the user. They basically need a way to just determine those things without having to like assign those values and store them on the ROM, because that would just take up a lot of space and time. So they're just like, well, we'll just build an algorithm that just generates these things when we need them. And it does it in a deterministic way. We were worried at first that it wasn't going to be deterministic and we'd have to set like, we'd have to dynamically figure out what the stats were every single run. But they're deterministic. Scott, I could use that last week before my recital. Yeah. I did not do the thing I said last time, put Lear in slot 1. Oh well. Okay, we got Bite now, so things are going to get easier from here. This fight was also very easy last time, so I'm not going to save. Yes! Oh my gosh, this nose pass is not going to do anything. That's so funny. 2 flinches and then a bunch of potions. Kind of a time waste, but eh. That's something I haven't talked about at all today, is nose pass also, or not nose pass. Don't make me talk about nose pass, by the way. I don't even want to think about it. One other thing is that there we go, some shopping done. Oh, oops. Funny. Yeah, so Roxanne's badge gives me a boost to my attack stat. That's what I was saying. Attack stat boost when you have 130 base attack in the early game? Ridiculous. That's another reason Absol is so good. Like, it goes through the whole game with its best stat boosted. Really, the only thing that... If this started with Bite, it would be so good. Like, because we would spend less time with inefficient training, and that would overall help it. And you can skip Brawly. So as like a dark type, it would be like... and with a medium slow growth rate, it would literally have all the things you would need to be really good. Honestly, I think they just wanted to boost your stats in the order they added the stats to the game. Attack, defense, speed, special. I genuinely think that that's what they just did in Gen 1. And then at some point they were probably like, Surge's badge makes more sense to boost. And then they, like, the code just didn't get changed. And so then it's wrong. And then in Generation 2, they were like, well, we'll actually boost your speed like we said we were gonna. Are you winning, Scott? I think I'm winning. I feel like I'm winning right now. We don't know though. We don't have the splits thing done yet for this gen. This fight's annoying. I could deposit the Abra, but I think it's just gonna be fine to just do like this. Get Agent users. First Talo, then Zigzagoon, then Meryl. Or Talo, then Meryl, depending on if the Meryl shows up here. Come on. This is bad. Okay, that's good. Took a little bit too long. Oh, Meryl. Cool. It's level 4, so we're definitely not going to knock it out if we attack. Do you miss badge boosts in Generation 4? I think it's better. They're not that interesting in Generation 3. They're really overpowered in Generation 2. In Generation 1, they're at their most interesting. Generation 1 is really the gen of the badge boost. It's like so interesting then. There's so many mechanics that work with it and so many unique ways that Pokemon can leverage them. That doesn't really exist in the later generations, so... Like in Gen 3, it's like you get a 10% boost, like, oh, okay, great, like, cool, but like there's not much to say or do about it. Like, it's just a passive thing. I think it's fine that they're gone. I think it makes it's something that balances for the late game and hopefully makes it more difficult. That said, the late game of Platinum is unbalanced because they just give you 1,000,000 rare candies, which that feels kind of bad. I wish if they had given 15 rare candies instead of 20, I think the game would be harder. But I also haven't played it with any first stage Pokemon yet, so when I get to like, I don't know, Spinarak only or something, it's gonna be challenging even with 20 rare candies. Hey, didn't exit the dialogue. I was thinking about it. We don't really need the soft sand. We'll just get the ether. And we'll fight the person. Oh. Darn. Kind of annoying. Good thing I got Pecha berries. I'm just making my way over to the little hut to fight the people there. I'm trying right now to make the late game Platinum more difficult for final stage Pokemon. Because in my first runs, I'm doing like a lot of extra battles. So now I'm trying to cut extra battles and use rare candies earlier on. Like, even in first playthroughs, if I know the Pokemon's going to struggle against a gym leader, like, I'll just rare candy with all my rare candies right before the gym leader to try and finish the game at an overall lower level, but also have more consistency. I think late game Platinum will also get more difficult when I do the league rematches. I'm not ready for that though. I need to still learn the base game a little bit more. We can get Thief, I guess. Not really that helpful. I might not even teach it, honestly. Like, I can Thief that one Oranberry and stuff. Like, cool, but like... it's not really gonna help. Probably just save the time and not teach it. Yeah, Platinum rematches. I know. I thought about throwing them in. The Shiny Machamp video is going to be the next one in Platinum. And I thought about throwing them in for that one since it's kind of special, but I just don't feel like I'm ready, so I'll do it later. Okay, this is where we set our waypoint. It's faster not to teach it. I think so. I agree. Plus we have Quick Attack for this fight, so even if we get paralyzed, it doesn't really matter. Oh, we one hit. Absol's good. This thing's good. We could skip the rare candy potentially, but we don't have Swords Dance yet. So last time I did the rare candy and Trick House just to get the level for Swords Dance before the rival. That was my thought process with it. I'm gonna do it again. I think if there's something that I would cut out of this route, this would be it. Oh, Zigzagoon has an item because of pickup, but I don't use pickup on my HM users. So HM users are allowed to navigate the overworld because I need them to do that. Otherwise, I can't get certain places. And it's also a convenience thing. Like, it's not fun to play the game if you can't, like, I don't know, fly. That's not interesting to me. So I let them, like, navigate and do that sort of thing, but I'm not going to allow them to give me items. Like, because then I can pick up a rare candy or something, or something that will help the main Pokemon in a way that is luck-based, that can't be easily compared with other Pokemon, so that's why. Scratch. Bye-bye. Swords Dance. Also, Last Robin. Last Robin is terrifying. One of the scariest trainers in the early game if you're weak to any of her Pokemon. Rival's kind of bad here. Hello, I like your videos. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So you can just taunt the Wingull. The Wingull's not very good, and then Swords Dance. I forget how many setups. I'm gonna go for a second one, and then knockout, because I want to make sure I one-hit the Combuskin. I don't want to get double kicked. Oh. I didn't plan that fight well enough. It's okay. I think we bite this. Yep. Easy. This is going quite well. That's annoying. The call. By the way, if you have a Pokemon that has the, what's it called? Like Lightning Rod on in the first party of your team, in Emerald version only, your chance to get calls with the Pokenav are increased by 50%. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. And you can't say no to the trainers giving you their numbers in Emerald version. It's like you waste all the dialogue time, then you have to get calls. Like, let's taunt this. It's pretty bad, and then Swords Dance. I just don't. I want to be able to knock out the Aaron in like 2 hits or something, because it has a Mud Slap. Oh. Okay. Well, it didn't Mud Slap me, so I'm at least happy about that. I'm just gonna Super Potion now for safety. I don't want to get messed up. Nope, that. It's the last mandatory trainer on this route. I'm going to fight them all. Like I said last time, taunt into Swords Dance, very potent against Pokemon that like to paralyze you. Then we'll fight Wally. I have to remember not to go into the center in this town. I'm not going to close this dialogue. Spam A through this dialogue. Most dialogue you spam B through, but you have to know when the prompts are going to come up so that you successfully answer them. Got again. Okay. Oh, at least I got the flinch. Okay, Wattson. Oh, I can teach Rock Smash. Oh, I should teach Rock Smash now. This should always be when I teach Rock Smash. Oh my gosh. How did I never figure that out? This is definitely the moment to teach Rock Smash. Because you're opening your inventory anyways to give the Cherry Berry. You're pretty much always going to give the Cherry Berry before Wattson. Please don't paralyze. Thank you. Okay, we're good. Now the Magneton can't paralyze me. And the Electric can't paralyze me unless it activates Static. So please no Static. Please. Okay, we're good. No problems on Wattson. Sweet. So I'm running low on PP, but that's actually okay because I'm about to get Secret Power, so it's actually ideal. Oh, you kidding me? Wonder if I'll ever get a shiny Geodude like that. That would be funny. By the way, I walk by these trainers because if you run by them, they catch you in the regular game. Mine technically don't, but I might change that in my ROM so that if you do run by spinners, they'll always catch you. Because that's how it is in the default game, and I feel like I should have to obey by that behavior. These are also Pecha berries, just so you know. Okay, secret power. There's also the healing house over here that you can just heal at, but like I'll just teach secret power. Place a quick attack. Now, does it make sense to hold on to quick attack? Maybe, but I don't think it. I think we're splitting hairs. Like, it doesn't really matter. There's not a lot of fast Pokemon in Emerald, like that the enemy has. For whatever reason, the enemy's Pokemon are all pretty slow. I like to go top here, because even if she catches you, it's not a big deal. The guy at the bottom has a Skarmory, and I really don't like fighting the Skarmory. Okay, normally what I do here is I grab the nugget first, then I sell the nugget and buy all the super potions that I need for the run. And also sell TMs. $40 is usually enough. Chanced it. The best item in the game, person berries. Love these things. Person berries are like, I don't know, blueberries or something, like just so good. They're great for you. Tasty little snacks. Pokemon loves them. Everyone's happier when they're in the run. I don't think I need to change moves for that thing, it's so bad. I think they are based on persimmons. Yeah. And no, I probably didn't say that right. I apologize. My pronunciation of everything is bad. Wait, this guy? I really like this like loop around, the wrap around. It's so good. I think it's oh, I forgot the PP up. It's fine. We don't actually need it. Absol has all the PP. PP for days. I'm gonna go over here. We don't need the black glasses. Remember, I talked about it last time. We seriously don't need them. We have to fight a trainer if we exit this way. I don't want to fight a trainer, so I'm gonna exit this way and then teleport. Back to Slateport City. Look at that. That was really well done. I think I'm really happy with that. So let me get hidden power. Place a bite. We have lots of PP. I'm going north now. A little sloppy there. Sorry about that. It's my citizen contractual obligation to say sorry. I'm Canadian after all. I need the waypoints up there. I just took the heal anyways. It's 4 PP. I probably didn't need that. I should have just gone in and then left, but yeah, the interviewers do not talk to you. I didn't go through the cave this time. Proud of that. A moveset without stab makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, but Absol's attack is so good. It's totally okay. You're a PokeTuber of challenge runs, of course you're Canadian. Yeah, I know. Every time I like find out about YouTubers and where do they live, like all in Canada. There's like so many YouTubers in Canada. I don't know why. And also like the solo running Pokemon PokeTubers are like so many Canadians. Gotta be really careful not to accidentally learn that. I was looking at my other monitor for a second. So that is the most tilting thing when you're trying to set a really good time for a versus video. You just like accidentally teach a move in the first slot because you look at a different monitor for one moment. Okay, Maxie, two setups here. Let's go. Taunt. Swords dance. Taunt. Swords dance. Time to lose. It doesn't, I don't think it matters if I secret power or if I hidden power the camera up. So I'm just going to go for the move that I'm already selecting. Because it's faster to have the cursor buffered. Like the cursor's already buffered there. I don't have to slow down to move it accurately without accidentally selecting the wrong move. It always takes more time to select a different move than it does to just continue using the current move. So long as the current move is doing enough damage. Okay. Okay, I probably shouldn't save her. Flannery is 1 sword stance. I guess like something drastic could happen, like I don't know, critical hit or something, but the numble's so bad. 244 attack with 1 setup. Absol is a beast. Look at this thing. Look at this thing go. Just like crushing everything. Alright, we're going back to face Brawly now. Brawly is scary. We looked at it because we don't have Swords Dance before Brawly, so the damage ranges there are just not quite good enough. Like, I'm going to get that right. I'm not going to mess that one up. Also, I'm doing this like this. I think I should probably come up from Mauville City to get this rare candy, but now we want to go back to Mauville. A little bit of inefficient menuing there. I gotta be careful. I don't want to run into a trainer here. There are a few that I didn't fight. Go to Duford. Oh, I didn't get return. That's a mistake. I knew I was forgetting something. Okay. Would it have been worth it to do Brawly when you got hidden power? Well, I think with this mistake, yes. It's okay. We have this teleport waypoint, which is gonna like make the mistake less painful. We would have to backtrack a little bit to... Oh, silly me. Sorry about that. Norman, we need 2 swords dances. And we can just stall the slack. Like, the slacking doesn't have enough damage to one-shot us, so we can just set up, then attack. No. Did the thing again. Focus on the important stuff. Need a repel counter in Gen 3. I don't know if I have one already, I forget. Like when you make one mistake, like you forget turn or something, that it feels like you start making all the mistakes, it just like cascades. That was something Austin and I talked about. Did I get the meat right? I think I did, yeah. I don't really forget it that much anymore. There we go. Out of my way. I can go through Rust Turf Tunnel. I think that'll be faster. As long as these people don't catch me. But I do have to fight this guy after all because I made a mistake, but that's fine. I think it's worth... Yeah, I think sometimes it's worth waiting to get return. We need it for damage ranges. Like, sometimes you can get it after Flannery when you have Fly. Or you can just wait to get it in Pacific Log Town. I think that's... Like, if you don't need it, you can just wait. If you have better moves. I think Absol for the damage ranges on the slacking, that's why I wanted it. Also, doing things this way, we do have to backtrack through here, but that's not the worst thing in the world, because I was going to have to walk over here anyways to get the white herb. This is where you get the white herb. Already fought this guy. Occasionally I make it back there and I forgot Brawly. And then I have to, I'm just like, oh, that's awkward. I'm gonna save here. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes this swallow is a little bit scary. Just gotta be careful. Why is the reset counter at 0? Because I haven't reset in this playthrough. That's it. Absol is really good. That's another reason. Oops. That's fine. Absol is really good. Also, I did another playthrough, which was pre-recorded and commentated that earlier on. Multiple reasons. Easy. Okay, Personberry. I don't think we need to save. Swords Dance is just too good. Swords Dance. Facade. Okay, we get 2 Swords Dances here then. Now it can counter. Yeah, so if it counters, then we just we're fine. Yeah, easy. Goodbye, Norman. Okay, right there, where you go out the door, and then you go out the door in this, like, inside the city, you skip all the rooms. Oh, that's like a jump cut in my videos, where they, like, leave stuff out, but you, like, have the same transition. It actually bothers me when I see it in the game. I'm just like, but I know there's stuff left out there. Like, please. Show me the other rooms. Feels like we just teleported or something. Alright. This is why Mauville City is such a good place to have as your teleport point. You can just keep going back here. And then, oh, that item, I should just pick that up so that's not in my way. It's like really annoying. Also, the Tentacool here are sometimes level 35, so even with a repel, they will get me. Whee. Mauville, such a good waypoint. I do not mod Abra in my runs, no. I use Taunt to catch it with Absol. And you have to train for Roxanne anyways, because you need Bite. So you have time to hunt one down and catch it. So I do not mod the Abra in my runs. Gotta get it. Ah! I was like, I don't want to use a repel. There's like no mandatory grass here, but I accidentally bumped into some. Do you have any concerns coming up? Tate and Liza, maybe. But I wouldn't be surprised if we make it to Steven with no resets. Absol is really good. The Mightyena has Intimidate. I'm gonna set up once. Scary face, okay. Maybe it can swagger me? No. Bye-bye. I'm gonna take a save here in case I fumble. Protect blocks that? Cool. Learned a thing. Easy. I don't even know how people understood the physical special split. Yeah. Also, the physical special split is a terrible name for it. You went from type-based move category to move-based move category. Damage category. Like, it's really simple. It's damage category. Damage category was defined before by the type, now it's defined by the move. It's like, when you say physical special split, like, special split is what they did in Generation 1 to Generation 2. They split the special stat. I'm just being pedantic. It should be called damage category split or something like that. I don't even think split is the right term. It's like damage category redefinition or something like that. Oh, picked up some raspberries. Perfect. But hopefully I can dodge this annoying guy with the beauty fly and dust hogs. I have enough PP this time, so I don't need to like worry about it that much. He's not gonna destroy me. Terrible timing that. Hey, this time I got the one hit. Yay! He's not a problem. Okay, so we saved, like last time, I reset to him at like 43 minutes. So we're like really ahead now. But this is what I expected. Oh. Getting caught behind a rock. It's like the special split and then like damage category redefinition or something, like damage category reassignment. Maybe that's what it is. Like they reassigned what the damage category was determined by. They reassigned it from type to move. Oh, here's a tiny thing I learned from Wattson yesterday, which will be talked about when I released that video, but you switch cast form into the second spot here, then you don't level up during this battle because the cast form's at a higher level than the other HM users you've caught. That's really helpful because then you don't waste time on level up screens or like the Zigzagoon learning headbutt, which is what always happens for me. It tries to learn headbutt, then I try to say no, then I like go through the dialogue a couple of times because I get stuck in the loop. Waste so much time. With cast form, look at it. Look at how simple that was. So much simpler. Cognitive, less load. Less likely to make mistakes later on because you did a little thing like that. Or I did a little thing like that. Austin also, he backtracks here. So he comes back here after going to Lilycove City. And I do think that's going to be a little bit better. I just forgot. I forgot yesterday when recording the run. And I also forgot today. Oops. No Shadow Ball. We don't need it. It takes so long to get it. You have to go up like 6 floors and dodge a bunch of spinners. Stuff like that. I don't need the zinc. I'm not going to sell it for anything. One thing I can do here is actually, since I reached the Lilycove City, I can just go to the department store, fight this guy. Because like Tropius is first and like Tropius is bad. Yay, lower my evasion. Perfect. And his starter never fully evolves. Do note that on this team he has both a Pelipper and a Ludicolo. That's if you choose Sceptile, so just be warned. What are my EVs? No, that's not what I wanted. Well, try and feed some protein. See what happens. Hey, maybe one more. Yeah, 3 protein. That's pretty good. So coming here is like helpful for multiple reasons. Okay, now we get rid of taunt or substitute. Cool. The best move in Generation 3. Back to Fort Tree City we go. Also, here's a little small thing that people mention a lot is deposit your Pokemon, then heal so that only one Pokeball shows up to save a tiny bit of time. Okay. Can skip these 2 trainers. I didn't know it for the longest time. Thanks for that piece of advice. These people are scary. I think it's good to save before them. I like how you get excited about substitute, but you don't like rest. Nah, it hurts me. I think I'm gonna one-hit the... Oh, his team graphic just didn't even show up. Did GameHook crash? No, it looks good. We're fine. Substitute is offensive? Are you kidding me? Alright. I think we have a different definition of what that is. I think substitute is like defensive. Maybe rest is more like passive. Substitute is defensive, but like, I don't know. Just in case. Substitute enables offense. Okay, sure. Sure. Does this blocks Perish Song? I guess we'll find out. If I have a reset, it'll be hilarious. How many was this? I think this is 2. Okay, well, that's fine. We don't need more than 2 because we 2-hit the Skarmory after just 2 setups. And the Skarmory, if... Oh, careful. Oh my gosh, the adrenaline. Oh, I want to touch Future Sight. If I touched Future Sight in the place of rest, it wouldn't have been the end of the world, but it would be hilarious. See, if I go one more Swords Dance, it does not one-hit this thing, by the way. It still survives. At least that was what my damage ranger showed me last time, so. I don't believe it after seeing those health bars, but... Substitute doesn't block Perish Sign because it's a sound move. Okay, good to know. I'll remember that for the future. Don't play like that. I also don't need the cast form anymore, so we can just go one less party member. Every time I heal, I'll save the tiniest bit of time. Okay, now we go there, if we can ever click on it. I also, out of principle, don't use the bike in this generation. It's just like a little bit hard to maneuver, as you can see, so... I only use it here when I absolutely need it, then I just like take it off. You move around fast enough running on 4 times speed. I think at least. I know I saw Austin using it and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to learn that. Maybe at some point, but... I think officially in the rules I banned it so that there's no like, people aren't asking questions. Oh, I know why trainer graphics aren't showing up. 1 second. That's why. I disabled them. I accidentally pressed a button. I'll get the rare candy after. If I remember. I only use running shoes. Yeah, that's what I think. I think running shoes are better. Even the running shoes I'm not very good at. Like, you can see I'm like running around bumping into a bunch of things when I should be much more precise. Mr. Mime is a very interesting Pokemon. I have a Crystal video with Mr. Mime coming out next month. Bonk counter is a little bit complicated in Generation 3 because we have to go in and modify the code so that it counts bonks for us. I don't do that with my overlay. I do that with the ROM. So that one's not dependent on me. It's dependent on other people helping me. I'm going to hidden power this just because I didn't set up. Okay, the best berry. The person berry. PP Max, my favorite item. And a save for good measure. Sound didn't start going through substitute until... Really? I'll have to look it up, I guess. I think that should be enough. Oh, I said 2 for this fight, but that's why. That's why I said 2. So I could one-shot that. 100%. This is why. It's fine. We had the substitute. Substitute's great. Ike, I concede. This move is a very good move. Okay, so here, you see? We do this thing, then we jump over here, then we go down. Then we're like almost already back at the place where we get the rare candy, but there's no guy standing here anymore. Ah! You just like get by all these trainers. You go in here. Now you can get the rare candy without fighting any people. I'm not sure which one's faster though. You can see how much walking time there is either way. Slateport City to do the thing that I always forgot when I first started these runs. Okay. Good, good. Lilycove City. That was nearly the same time as before without the EXP. Okay, so maybe it is better to just fight the guy. Because if you get EXP, like it's better to just do the thing that gives you EXP rather than not get the EXP. Unless you're doing like some challenge where it's like important not to get EXP, but that's not what we do here. Usually. I'll probably do a minimum battles run at some point because I think it would be fun, but... Yeah, they did jump into the sub while it's underwater. Also, Austin. Austin, look at this. See, you can go by both of those guys at the top. Yeah, I like that path. Okay, Matt, look at Matt's Mightyena. It has no damage dealing moves. So funny. Oh. Maybe a Swords Dance there to prevent the potion. Yeah, a Swords Dance there. Next time. Ah! Don't want to get caught by that guy. Oh. Taunt bait, seriously. Let's make it struggle. These soda pop, you see? They're really good. It's really good. I'm trying to close that. I want to do this. Great job, Gyarados. Perfect move selection. Leer. Just what I've always been terrified of after I use Swords Dance. Sometimes I contemplate going to Moss Deep first and then teleporting back after getting this rare candy. I don't know if it's faster or if this is just fine. It's probably faster to teleport back. Because flying takes... It's annoying because you have to menu and do the little like flying mini game thing, which I hate. And then walking back is like, there's people that can catch you. That person, for example, who I went one tile beside. Healing here, I like to heal here because then this is my waypoint and I can teleport back after I reach Pacific Log Town. And I'm going to go to Pacific Log Town first because I get 2 more rare candies by doing this. And there's a lot of trainers along there that I like to fight. Oh, okay. Crit. A little scary. Double. 2 crits from them in this battle. But it's nice to clear out the trainers along the way to Pacific Log Town, and then getting there is also helpful because you can fly back during the plot line. I'm wondering if at some point I should cut this down in my route just a little bit to save some time, but like you might be able to just go there once during the plot and skip getting that waypoint entirely. So there's a guy here. I don't want to fight him today. Really don't want to fight him. I don't want to fight all these people. Ah! Gotta be careful of that one. You gotta go up fast after you hit the rock. Otherwise she gets you. Also, Austin said go along the bottom because there's people with better experience along the bottom. So if you do run into them, it's less of a problem than if you run into the people at the top. This person sucks though. We did explicitly talk about her star you and how bad it is. What's that? What? No. Darn. I go to the top here. I saw Austin go to the bottom. We didn't talk about it, but I think they're like it's easier to dodge the trainers at the top, and then you line yourself up here for this rare candy. Ah, the Sharpedo guy. It's fine. Rare candy. Again, deposit before healing. This time I want to keep a Pokemon with me. I, on principle, do not keep a flying type so that the Clay Doll will use Earthquake. But I can, like, Austin keeps a Talo so that the Clay Doll goes for Ancient Power. The swimmer's pause buffer. Oh, that's a good idea. I should do it like that, yeah. Then you can tell where they're at. Yesterday I had to fight an extra person here to level up, so I'm going to do that now. Not have to backtrack for it. Pause buffer is you just open the menu so you can see where they are. They stop moving around when you have the menu open. Then you close the menu and you have seen just then where they are at, so then you can just move past them because you can predict their motion. Whereas if they're like constantly moving around, it gets a little bit harder to predict their motion because they're moving quite fast. I did not think about parasong now. That was like a don't mess this up, Scott. Press the right buttons. You don't want to accidentally delete return after not getting the second return TM in Pacific Lockdown. I tend to go through dialogue like that very carefully. Yeah, this is going to be the only run I do today. My goal for streams is to do one pre-recorded run, talk about it, and then do one run where I do it live. That's my goal. I only do the other attempts when I am like, when something goes really wrong and I feel like I just like too frustrated to stop. Okay, 12 rare candies. We're going to be once again level 59 before fighting Tate and Liza. I am going to give a Person Berry this time because it's the best item in the game. And the reason is because the Xatu, the whole time I was setting up last time, I kept looking over at the Xatu and seeing it sitting there with, what's it called on its moveset? Confuse Ray. I was like, I don't want that to hit me. I forget how much the Clay Doll does, so I'm just going to set up. We'll see how much the Clay Doll does. So I'm going to block that with Substitute. Okay. Cool. Oh, on too many setups. Oh! Do I lose? I think I lose. No, the Xatu can't attack me unless it Confuse Rays, so as long as it does not Confuse Ray, we're still good. Don't Confuse Ray. Thank you. Tate and Liza, I only needed 2 turns of setup, so that was my mistake, but I still win. Sub-hour, Tate and Liza, decent. Again, heal here before withdrawing your Pokemon. So for the future there, I should just set up Substitute turn 1. No, Shadow Ball is just a waste of time. We talked about Shadow Ball a bunch earlier and like looked at some of its damage ranges in the late game. It's not very good. Like it's good, but like you have to spend time on it. Like the time is not worth getting there. I did have Person Berry. Yeah. I would have remembered it as soon as it became relevant. I'm like, oh yeah, I have this thing. That's good that I thought about that before. And then not immediately after. Shadow Ball is one of those moves that, like, it feels like if the Pokemon really needs it, like, that's fine, go get it. But like generally when I'm rooting stuff out now, I'm like, if I can just avoid Shadow Ball altogether, I will. Like for some Pokemon, it honestly feels better to just run Hidden Power Ghost than Shadow Ball, because Hidden Power Ghost is more convenient in so many ways. Just in case. Yeah, actually we're thinking the same thing. I'm gonna go for Substitute here, because then they can't mess me up with stuff like Scary Face and Swagger. I'll just set up once and then sweep. Maxie's team first. They're the default selection on my cursor, so the cursor always buffers to the right-hand Pokemon for the enemy every turn, so you have to manually move it if you want to knock out the left-hand team first. Very annoying. So I prefer to knock out the entire right-hand team first, then knock out the left-hand team, so I can just spam A and save a tiny bit of time of my brain buffering. Oops. Be careful there. Oh, it's raining. It's raining really loud. Rain is my favorite weather, by the way. I don't know if people... Like, not in the game. I'm not talking about Pokemon. I'm talking about real life. Rain is my favorite weather. Everyone's like, oh, it's such a nice day. It's sunny. I'm like, no, no, no. It's nice when it's rainy. Like, this is my favorite. It's raining right now. It just sounds really beautiful. So I always say, oh, it's such a nice day whenever it's raining. And then I get to see how normie people are. It's like, if they're like, wait, what are you talking about? Then I'm like, oh, I see, okay. We're just gonna go for the default solution, aren't we? It's a nice day, it's sunny. Don't we like heat? No, it's better when it's cold. I like things being cold. We're gonna go through this door. Okay, let's go. This, and then like this, and then like that. Did it. Austin did this puzzle a little bit differently than I do. I have to look at his and see if mine takes less actions. I hope mine takes less actions. I don't remember what his is. In case. How Canadian of you, yeah. But do you go outside in the rain? Wait, why would you want to go outside? That's the real question. Wait. Why do people go outside? Pokemon is inside. It's on my computer. My computer does not go outside. There's glare outside. You ever think about that? If there's sun, there's glare. If there's clouds, there's no glare. If there's clouds, people say, it's okay if you stay inside. And you're like, yeah, all the things I love to do, they're inside. I can just stay inside, and I don't even have to feel guilty about it. Pokemon, go inside. Apologies if you like sunny weather. Remember, I'm Canadian. Okay, down we go, underground, underwater, up we go. I mean, Scott hates Ludicolo, he should hate rain. Maybe I have to embrace the Ludicolo in me. My nature is like, my ability is Rain Dish, apparently. Go. I think this run's going pretty well. Very happy with it so far. I don't think I'm going to beat Austin's... Oops. I don't think I'm going to beat Austin or Axu's time, but... I'm like for me, I think that this has been a really good run up until this point. I don't consider myself as skilled as either of them. Okay, I gotta be careful here. Thanks, speedrunner. See, that was the pause buffering. I didn't do a good job of it. It took me way too long, but Also, I often run the long way around one of these floors, so I'm going to make sure I do, yeah, the quick route like that this time. In Ruby and Sapphire, this location is an absolute nightmare. You have to get through with the mock bike, and when I first started playing Emerald, there was a moment where I was like, wait, do I have to do the mock bike on 4 times speed every time I go to the Sky Pillar? I don't, luckily. That would be absolutely painful. That would be like the whole video. It would be like 45 minutes of me commentating my mock bike and then like 20 minutes of actual gameplay. Oh, because the mock bike has acceleration and deceleration, and it's so hard. And you have to decelerate onto the perfect tile to drop down to the place where you need to go. Ah, so painful. I think I would, honestly, I would just turn it to 1 time speed for that sort of thing. It just wouldn't be fun on 4 times speed. Those have never really been a challenge, surprisingly. Just do Sky Pillar at half speed. Yeah. Get a little bit of game time. I do not need substitute. I want to hit everything after a single swords dance. So we just go for it. Yeah, like imagine if you could do it at 4 times speed. That would be so impressive. That's like a whole video in itself. I trained for 300 days in a locked room while it was raining to beat Sky Pillar with the mock bike on 4 times speed. My new channel is called Scott Beast. Okay. Don't heal here. This is a mistake. You're always gonna like bump into one land somewhere. It's like, unless you go really slowly like I'm doing right now. Ah, he got me. It's okay. This time's good. I think this time's really good. I bet I just need 1 here. I think I set up a bunch of times last time, which like, why would you do that? Like 3 setups for Wally? No. You got hidden power for the Magneton, we're fine. Also, the Magneton in this game does not know Thunderwave. In Generation 1 and 2, Magneton and Magnemite are exclusively terrifying in solo runs because of Thunderwave. Especially in Generation 1, because once you get paralyzed once in Generation 1, if you remove the status condition with the move like Rest or Haze, or Haze is a different story, but like if you remove the status condition, you do not recover your speed. Haze resets... I think it resets all the stats. I need to look that up. My memory is not good enough to... And I have not used Haze enough. It's usually irrelevant. Okay, I think I set up here last time too, and like taunted and stuff. Like, why? Just attack. You have so much attack. It's fine. Knock everything out. Rush the game. Be happy you're playing with Absol. This thing is great. Oh yeah, it resets everything. Okay. Thanks, speedrunner. I should have known this. Last time I failed to knock it out as well. I should have gone for 1 sword dance. If the Tropius is a 2-hit, I'll be really sad. Okay. Because then I could have saved a little bit more time. There's 2 steps there. She's a spinner. She'll catch you if you don't have the social anxiety trainers. I always think this guy has a ghost Pokemon, but he doesn't. I don't want to set up against the Pelipper, even if it protects, because if it supersonics randomly, because they do sometimes, then if I hit myself, I'll deal massive damage to myself because it uses my attack to calculate confusion damage. Okay, League. Really good time. go. Haze removes paralysis in some circumstances. I don't know what they are. Maybe it's when the AI uses it. There's some glitchy thing where it removes his status condition or removes like poison or something. It's so weird. It removes like the opponent's status condition, but not the users. There's some weird interaction I know where it removes the status condition. And I'm always a little bit surprised when it happens. That's why I remember it. Haze removes freeze. What? Oh, that's funny. I don't think that's the one. I don't think I've ever seen that play out in a game. Oops. Yeah, sure. Use curse twice. Substitute's better there again than trace. Blocking curse. That's cool. Okay, for everyone who joined this and was like, hey, it's so sad that Absol's a dark type and it doesn't really get good dark type moves. It doesn't learn crunch, blah, 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 blah. Like, you know, the cherry berry right now is, I don't have one. Okay, well, that's fine. I think we just YOLO. If I reset here, I'll be so, yeah, I thought it was going to hail. My brain stopped working for a second. Sorry about that. I'm going to focus on the end of the run. I'll talk after. I don't need to waste time with substitute. I went for Rock Tomb, but it didn't get it. Just missed. That move's so bad in this game. Okay, like I said earlier on, I was like, I'm not really scared of anything until Steven. Oh! Salmet survived. Could you just stop? I don't want a sword stance. I don't want to move my cursor. Thank you. Christian, thank you. I don't think I need this. It's probably a waste of time. And I only need I need 2 turns to set up to guarantee the knockout after the Gyarados is Intimidate. I'm gonna hope. Yep, that's what I was hoping for. And then no freeze. As long as we don't get frozen, we're good. What's that? Okay, so no resets. Defeat Wallace. My time is slower now than both Austin and Axu, but still, Absol's getting a great time. They're probably a little bit tighter just in terms of their execution. Also, I'm playing it on stream. I would probably be a little bit faster with my execution as well if I wasn't streaming, because I wouldn't have to talk. But that's really good. Like a 114. But now how bad is Steven going to be? Because Steven could be bad. Hopefully we don't have a crash there, because that's technically my first reset. It feels good when that's the case. As long as we beat Mewtwo, I'll be happy. This is so good, these little spots. Huh. I always fumbled there and fought at least one of the trainers, probably two. But now it's fine. It's really good. Thank you, Austin. Don't fight this guy. Let's go. Gotta circle that like the drain. Nah! Got everything. Got the leftovers. I'll just play it out, because who knows? This thing could just toxic a bunch with spikes, and then I'll still win. Like that. Yeah, just don't toxic now. Actually, we'll just reestablish this. Maybe it'll be bad. Okay, it's not going to be bad. Fine. One reset. I expected to have resets here, though. I would be really surprised if I didn't get more resets against Steven. Just needed to, like, spikes and, like, toxic twice or something. Like, that would be really helpful. Okay, not good. Toxic? Okay, that's good. Nope. I want to chance it. Okay, that's really good. Toxic, please. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, we still have a sub. Perfect. My gosh. Escape camper, thank you. There was another one for play with Scoobs, thank you. Oh my gosh. Here we go. It's getting close. Don't want to fumble. Don't want to fumble. Just press A. Oh! Oh, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're going to one-hit the Metagross. Stop with the full restores. It's annoying. Just wasting my time. Wasting so much time. 4 full restores. I could have just established substitute there, but if he didn't use it, I didn't want to just have my substitute break. Okay. Done. Okay, so 5 hours game time. Real time, 1 hour, 17 minutes and 46 seconds with one reset at level 68. Almost close to perfection. Really good run. This is the best time I've ever got in Pokemon Emerald. We beat the former Absol run by like roughly 4.5 minutes, and then we beat Mewtwo's time by like 4 minutes. So really good. I wouldn't have thought that this would be possible a while ago. Here's the thing. I think as I continue to get better at Pokemon Emerald, this run is once again going to migrate towards middle of the pack. I think that Absol is maybe, like, in the end, when everything shakes down and we've completed the game, I think Absol is going to be like a C-tier Pokemon. That's saying a lot, because I think that there are some other Pokemon that are just going to destroy the game more so than this thing did today. If you watched all that, maybe that sounds ridiculous, so sometime in the future I will have to demonstrate what I mean to all of you. Yeah. This was really fun. I had a great time. I'm going to come back. I'm going to play more Pokemon Emerald next week on Thursday. Same time, same place. We are going to be doing a re-ranking of Exploud because it's been a while since I used it. I'll go to the first attempts and show you what its time is. Right now, Exploud has a time 1 hour, 59 minutes and 2 seconds, but when I got that time, it was ridiculously good, and I kind of stumbled going into the Steven fight and made some bad choices. I think that Exploud is going to do so much better in a second run, and then the week after Exploud, I think I'm going to come back and do Medicham again. So we're trying to get some real fast times to see just how low I can push the overall completion for Emerald. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the donations or the super chats. I really appreciate it. The fact that you support the channel directly really does let me do all of this. I would have to run the channel so much differently if people did not support, so I really do appreciate it. Thank you to everyone for being here. I will see you this weekend, hopefully for a Versus video. If not, it'll be out next weekend. Thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far, you're incredible. I'll see you next time.